Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. This is your boy Sniper, aka Brown Amaka Wolf. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It was kind of good weather. Had a little bit of rain. Wasn't too hot. Wasn't too cold. Everybody who went to church had received the message um, that was given to them. Uh, Before I begin on this subject that I want to talk about, and I hope that everybody will put their 2 cents in. And this can go many a ways. After a few minutes of talking, I will drop the link so y'all can get up here and we can talk about it. My Wolfpack brothers and sisters, y'all more than welcome to come up here at the top so we can have a conversation with it. But hey, again, I just want to say, hey, happy Sunday to you. Um, and those who went through Hurricane Helena, I just want to say, my prayers are with y'all. Prayers are with the family, the families who fell victim to the hurricane, um, and we pray that a speedy recovery. Um, Prayers for those who lost their lives, um, and I hope that the family is smothered in God's hands. Let me salute the chat, Brooklyn Hood. What's going on, bro? You knew how you doing, big sis? Armando Black. Hey, you already know, bro. You already know. So, um, I get a few more minutes. I know some folks said it was going to come in today. Um, give them a few minutes to hop on. You knew Armando, D Truth. Y'all want to come up together? Miss Media, Common Sense, Common Sense, Common Sense, Common Sense. Before I go any further, congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Um, that's all I'm gonna say for today. We're gonna save that my topic for another day. I get 24 hours. I get 24 hours before it, so I to go through what I go through, and then I will respond to the subject at hand. But anyways, men. This question is going to start off with the men out there because consensus say that the answer is probably the same for most women. Um, but men, do you have a problem with your significant other, your partner, making more money than you? And if you do, let's talk about it. Now, for years and years and years, men has been told that they got to be providers. But there's a difference. The definition of being a provider is way more than monetary money value. Miss Chicago, how you doing? Um, you you men, do you have a problem with your significant other, your partner, your female partner, making more money than you? For me, the only way that I would have an issue with um, my significant other, my partner making more money than me, if it's constantly thrown in my face. It's constantly being known that she makes more money than me. Let's just say, let's just say for hypothetical, everybody kind of has a general idea of what I do and pursue as a living. Okay. Um, And let's just say that I happen to meet a young lady who is a lawyer. She has her own firm and she's pulling in six figures a year. Now, nationally, the average gross is about 50 to 60 a year, if that. And let's say I'm in that range of 60 to 70 a year. It's not bad, but that's a choice that's a career choice that I chose to do. So I meet this lawyer, and first couple of weeks we really don't discuss about money issues or um, not money issues, but who makes this much, how much you make. But then as time goes on, it gets serious. We get serious, and we said, all right, let's start making this exclusive. It's just me and you. Let's talk about our future together. Blah blah blah. Everything goes good. She knows what I do. She knows my base pay. I know what she do. I know what her base pay is. Plus, bonuses and all that good stuff. My overtime. It's We can make this work. Now, as time goes on, and we're sharing bills, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. Of course, my money's going to come shorter than hers because she's making more monthly than I am making monthly. I'm not mad at it. As long as we're growing together, I shouldn't be mad at it. As long as she understands and she not I wouldn't say follow the rules, but knowing that, yeah, just because you make more money, the head of the household, you know who that is. It doesn't matter how much money you make, that you know who the head of the household is. And as long as so the only thing that would really tick me off as time goes on, and I'm at a cap of how much I can make, but she continues to grow because of her position, her career. She's getting more and making more and more money than I do, and she's bringing in more money into the household, and she constantly tells me that she makes more money. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care how smart you are. But you keep belittling me because you make more money is a deal breaker, and I have to go. I have to go. And the reason being is I'm still bringing money to this household. I'm still working my butt off. I'm still out in this world fighting and fighting and fighting every day. And come home and I don't want to listen to, well, you didn't make this much this month, or you didn't. Let's just say we get together and I tell her up front, man, I only make 30 a year. I I restock I restock the shelves at the local grocery store. Oh my God, people do not have a life. Can somebody fly this person up out of here for me, please? So back to what I'm saying. Whoever this TJ and KB, can somebody fly him up out of here, please? Hey, I'm gonna drop the link for you, bro. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to stoop to your level. It's funny that you still have me on your notifications. I thank you for the view. You can say whatever you want. Leave him in there, y'all. Just let him just clown. Let him show his vocabulary. Because right now, he's at a second grade, maybe vocabulary, mindset. That's the reason why you don't have a woman, man. So chill the hell out. Anyways, so let's just say that at the beginning, I'm straight up honest with her. Hey, listen, I stock groceries. I stock the shelves at night at the local grocery store. I make 30 a year. She accepts that at first. A year or two down the line, yes, trying to pursue different things, but right now that is where I am. And now it's a problem. Now it's an issue. Now it's a now it's basically a penis swinging contest because I I don't make as much money as she do. It's just like that movie, A Family That Prays Together. And there's one scene in there where the husband is a construction worker, and he's trying his best to have his own construction um, company. And his wife is on his neck all the time. We also know that she was sleeping with her boss, but the company that he was doing everything he can. He's promoting himself. He's networking. He's trying his best, and he's trying to save money to start his own business in construction. Do y'all think it's wrong of her to put him down every time? Then uh, put him down every time that um, they talk about money issues. I believe also she cleared out his account, cleared out the account and put all the money. No, he found out that she had a second account stored away. I know nowadays is my money is my money and your money is your money. Where back in the day it was my money is my money for the females because the joke was my money is my money and your money is my money. I look at that picture, I look at that movie, and I think of that couple. Like, you're making this money, and he was probably there for you at the beginning and watched you, took these odd jobs so that you can go to classes, that you can um, work late hours. He held it down for you at the house because most construction is this 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 8 to 5. They don't, or most construction workers work during the day time. And hell, if it rains, sometimes they lose a day on that. So y'all know construction is a hard job. But again, he probably put in money for her again to go to classes, for her to work overtime, work through the day, push and supported her through the hard times of her climbing the career ladder and all this good stuff. Now she makes it to the top. Now his money doesn't match hers, and she don't need that support anymore. Then what do y'all think about that? Talk to me. What do y'all think about that? If anybody want to come on up, there it is. Hey, if you come up here and you act stupid, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's only two questions. A question is going to be asked. What's your address? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna pull up on you. I'm not playing this today. I'm just here to have fun, get some insight on people's beliefs, and move on about our business. So, Mondo, Miss Chicago, come up and tell me what you think. Common sense. You knew anybody? Because I can talk about this subject by myself. I just want to hear what y'all got to say. Should it be a problem, y'all? Should it be a problem for a woman or a man to make less money than his spouse or significant other, his partner? They live together. Yes, it might be times where she has to put a few extra dollars on the bills, or take the large amount of bills, and he pays the secondary, or they split it right down the middle, and you pay your half, and then because I don't believe in it, there's nothing about a relationship that's 50-50. There's nothing about a relationship 50-50 for emotional support, financial support, physical support. There's nothing 50-50 about a relationship when it comes to those three things when it comes to a relationship. And let me tell you why. First of all, if I can only give you 80, or if I can only give you 20 this month, or I'm sick and I can only give you 40% of myself. If you really in this relationship from start to finish until death do you part, then you should give up the other 60%. And let me choose my words correctly, not give up, give 60%. If I only have 30% of money for bills this month, because again, let's stick in the construction work, laying asphalt, anything that entails you being outside and the weather has to be perfect to do it. It is raining outside. It's extremely cold. It's snowing. Hurricane comes through. Okay, you get to work from home. I can't do anything, so my money is short this month. My money is excuse me. My money is not where it's supposed to be or where it was the previous month. Hey, Miss Phoenix Rising. So instead of saying, "Oh, you ain't because you didn't make you didn't make the mortgage this month, you didn't make the rent this month. Oh, we can't get the right amount of groceries. You make more money than me. Why don't you go ahead and cover that other 70%?" Because at the end of the day, if roles were vice versa, you are you're a flight attendant, or you are a you could be a lawyer and be within, I don't know, real estate, or commercial real estate, and you haven't sold nothing this month, or you didn't finish finishing the documentations and for a house selling this month. I know it's my responsibility to make up, to take care of my portion and the portion that you could not make that at that time. Y'all please hit the like button before y'all, if y'all come in here. Please hit the like button. If you feel like it. I'm just up here talking. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't care about I don't care about clicks and views and all that good stuff. I just like to entertain people. So, what do y'all think? What do you is and I want try to talk to people who've been in relationships for extended period of time, or has been in this situation before. Come on through. Let me know what y'all think about this. Miss Chicago, what you think? And y'all know in about 15 minutes, somebody's going to come up here and say, ha, 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 you only got 5 views. I don't care. I had 8 at one point. So, hey, at least, hey, I got 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. So, hey, put it in chat what y'all think about that. And we're going to do, and the question is, why is it so different from when a man makes more money than his partner, his significant other, his lover? Why is it so different when a man makes money more than when a woman makes money more? Makes more money. What's the difference? Why are you yelling at me? What? we hear you. We hear you. Hey, Miss Phoenix Rising says making money is not the issue. The issue is if a woman thinks that makes her more of a man than her man. Oof. Do y'all women agree with that? I see what she's saying. I see what she's saying. If a man, if so, just to, oh, you can't see, so you have to put the capitalize all the letters so you can see what you write and make sure I can see what you write. I got you. I'm down for it. Keep doing what you're doing, boo. I tell you, every time that you make great points. I don't care how you put it in there. So basically what you're saying is that it's when a woman try to take the masculinity away from a man. But the issue, the root of the problem is the finances. Who makes more money? I did drop the link. It's at the top. Let me do it again. Let me do it again for you, brother. Let's go at it. Well, not go at it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and listen, y'all. Amando's coming up here, but I would like to have a female perspective of this also. Because myself and Mr. Mondo Black, we're both males. So we're gonna answer the question as males. And if you want to, hey, let's have a great discussion about it. Okay. Did you get the link, Amando? He'll be up here shortly. Miss Chicago, what you think? You knew? Making more money is not the issue. But I'm gonna disagree just a little bit, Phoenix Rising. I'm a um, good evening, Mr. Armando Black.
Good evening, bro. What's going on? Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to the
Happy
chat. Salute
happy
everybody.
Sunday to you.
Salute to you.
Um,
Oh,
so me and you started this conversation on the phone a couple days ago, and it's been
mm-hmm,
pondering in my mind. and I- and
mm-hmm,
and we kind of agree a little bit on things, and I think this is
mm-hmm,
one of the topics that we agree on. But give
mm-hmm,
me your perspective of this conversation. Again, I would like to see more, a female come up and explain the side of a female. Is it a female? Is it a lady thing? Is it a female thing? Is it a little girl thing? But what is your perspective of
Um, it's a two-part to this thing. First of all, I want to get on the men. Any man that has a problem with it is two types of men that will have a problem with dating a woman, or any man dating a woman that has more money than them. Number one, they're insecure with themselves. They're insecure with their masculinity, so they feel like a woman that makes more money than them would kind of like demasculate them, but they're already beta males. Any man that would have a problem with uh, a woman making more money than them is in my opinion is weak, mentally weak. Number two, you got you got a sector of men that will that will sit back and hate on another man that's landed a woman, or that's with a woman that makes more money. A woman that's like in the six figures or the seven figures. They'll they hate on the other man. Like, you remember how guys were hating on Stedman, and how guys were hating on Nick Cannon when Nick Cannon was with Mariah. Oh, Mariah making more money than you. Mariah's the breadwinner. You know, they were hating on him because, yeah, Mariah was the breadwinner. Mariah made more money. They also did it to Tom Brady. A lot of people, a lot of the men in the league, they really didn't like Tom Brady. Number one, because he won all the time. Number two, because he had a supermodel wife that was darn near a billionaire. You know,
but he was a
and
millionaire.
huh?
But he was a millionaire.
He was a millionaire, but Giselle, banked up. Giselle banked up. And now on the women's side, you got some women that are insecure with themselves. Okay.
Sorry.
And them, they'll use their status and their money to, like, control. They like to be in control, so they'll they'll date. Their preference will be men that make less than them versus dating a man that's on their level. They won't date a man that's in their tax bracket. They'll go and date down and date a man that makes less than them because they feel that they can control that man. They feel like he will take more off of her than a man that's on a level. Like I'm gonna give you an example, like Phaedra and Apollo. I mean, out of all the men in Atlanta that were on her level and that were also attorneys, she went and chose a young thug. You know what I'm saying? She went and chose to marry a young thug and to date a young thug.
So, do you believe,
Hmm.
and this goes for the people in chat also, you can answer this question. Do you
Hmm.
believe that people with that status, the billionaires and millionaires, they cause more friction than people that are not in that tax bracket?
It would only cause you talking about friction between the two that's involved with each other,
Yeah, they're
the
involved.
couples.
They're involved with each other. Some people make it work, but other people, it's like being an actor and actress that get together. We've seen it. There's only
Hmm.
like a handful of people that are actors and actresses, and they got together, got married, and been married
Hmm.
the time of the. But then you also see the actors and actresses that get together, and 2 years later they're getting divorced.
Hmm.
Same
Insecurity
thing.
and jealousy. Insecurity and jealousy. I'm
Okay.
telling you, it happens with celebrities. If two celebrities marry each other and one is a mega celebrity and one is just a lower tier celebrity, they'll stay together maybe a couple of years. They'll have a kid and boom, they divorce. How many times have we seen that happen?
A
And
lot.
yeah, Nick kept 17 jobs, but Mariah, he was, as far as like money wise, he was not on her level. He was not on her level, and the perception was, and I'm not saying he had a problem with it. I think their issue was he couldn't keep his ding dong in his pants. He was cheating on the girl. I think that was their problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was speaking in terms of other men in Hollywood would make like little sarcasm remarks about Nick Cannon because they were jealous of him because he bagged a female that's that a lot of men wanted, a lot of men were crushing on when they were younger, and a lot of men in the industry wish they could have, and she had money. you know. Halle Berry, that's another one. I mean, look at her and David Justice. David Justice was he wasn't making top dollar. And you gotta remember back in the 90s, baseball play, they didn't have a no salary cap
Yeah.
back then. So David Justice wasn't really making that kind of money back then. But Halle Berry she was banked up.
Yeah. She was. She
Yeah,
was
she was
making
banked
money.
up back in the early 90s.
Hmm. But in the same sense, you didn't, and I don't know. I've never heard of it. I don't know if you have. Anybody
Mhm.
else have? Halle Berry didn't make it out to be that she was just that. Hey, I make more money than David Justice.
We don't know what she did behind closed doors.
Yeah, we don't
We
know.
don't. Yeah.
So, do you think that if, say, for
There's a reason
the
why she can't keep a man. I'm just saying that anytime a woman is in and out of marriages, I mean, Halle Berry gorgeous, gorgeous. Ain't nothing wrong with her looks. She's gorgeous. Um, but there's a reason, Sniper. There's a reason why she can't keep a husband. There is a reason why you got women that are single in their 50s and can't keep a
hmm
man or can't keep a husband. It's a reason. It ain't by accident. Now, some will throw you off and say, well, I don't want no man. I love being single. I enjoy being single. I have fun just being in the house with me and my cat. No, no, that sounds good. That sounds good. But in real life, everybody wants somebody to love. Everybody wants a companion. I'm not saying you need one. I'm not saying you, but somebody wants somebody to love. Nobody
yeah,
just want to be alone. Mm-mm.
yeah. There's a small amount of people who likes being alone. Maybe they've been through worse relationships and they just like, you know what? I give up on this relationship thing. I would love to be in a relationship, but right now I would like just to be by myself, relearn
They,
myself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and you know what, man? Yeah. I've had people tell me that. I got female friends that tell me that. I like being alone. Uh, I don't, and what they'll throw up and say, well, I don't need nobody. I don't need to know. You don't need you damn right. You don't need no man. You don't need no man, nobody. You don't need nobody but the Lord. That's all you need. But it's good to have somebody. It's good to have somebody that to spend time with someone and spend quality time with someone and share. How's your day? You have a long day at work. It's good to have somebody to come home and talk to and just share stories with. somebody to watch movies with, someone to go to a Falcons game or a Braves games or a Hawks game with, someone like we was having a discussion of that, someone to go to the park with and have a picnic with. Can't
Mhm.
no woman sit here and tell me that they enjoy being in the house alone with their cat watching Netflix every night. Can't no woman tell me that. Can't nobody tell me that. Oh boy, see what I'm talking about, man? Hurt feelings, bro. Hurt
Hey,
people, hurt
hey,
feelings, man. Hey, man, don't get mad because I chose smart. Don't get
hey,
mad because I chose smart.
there's
I
always that
chose
one.
smart, bro. 20 years strong. I'm the best person to get the relationship advice. 20 years strong, brother. Unlike you.
Hey, and
If I need some relationship advice, I get it from your cousin, bro. I get it from your cousin, Randy. Shout out to Randy. We know who that is. Get that clown on about him, man. Before he spam your chat.
Phoenix, get the clown up out of here for me, please.
Because he give himself away by the way he type. He the only dude I know that put face emojis. He the only dude on YouTube that use face emojis. No, only females do that, bro. And he the only dude that does that. That's how I'm able to identify him. That's how everybody that he got a problem with when he come in there try to troll, we know who he is because he always use caps and he always use these little emojis.
The emojis.
Yeah, like a female, bro. Only female does that. Only
Hey,
female do that.
but
Men,
here's
we'll use flames and wolves and lightning bolts and stuff like that, man. Only females do that. Facial emojis.
the question I have for you, brother, is
Yes, sir.
what not you. I'm talking about this young man that's on here. Why can't you have an intelligent conversation with someone?
Because
Anybody that's on YouTube, you go up on their channel, you want to start stuff. It's like you fiending for attention, bro, or you just want to cause problems.
he angry, man. He angry. He
Mm.
angry. I mean, think about it, man. You done lost your career. I mean, and that was his fault. He lost his trucking career. And then he loses, then a year and a half later after that, he loses his wife to his cousin. I mean, hell, I would be mad. But that ain't my problem. You know what I'm saying? My problem is his problem is not my problem. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm blessed and I'm happy, brother.
Hey, and listen, and people need to see relationship like yours, and relationships like our sister, you knew they've been together for a long time, and they make it work.
And you know
And
why?
they need to sit down and talk to some of these folks, talk to these older folks. Not saying that y'all are old before
Mm,
she get over here and say something, but talk to these folks who's been there. They've been through
mm,
the struggle.
mm-hmm.
They've been through the highs and lows. They've been through you know what? If I had a chance, I'll pop you in your lip, but you my wife and I love you, or you my husband, I love you. Been through them things, and talk to them and see how they make it through, so that they can follow after that example or follow that standard, and follow that standard and improve their relationship with their partner.
Mm.
Hey,
Just
Phoenix, can you get this clown up out of here, please, sir?
yeah, and the thing about this dude, the play he runs is he go to different chats because he did that to another content creator last week. He went in the chat. The dude was nice enough to let him live in the chat. He came up in the chat, and what this dude does, he'll spam your chat to get you flagged. And if you let him up on your panel, he'll say reckless, like they're trigger words. They're trigger words, certain trigger words that if a person get up on your panel and they say those trigger words,
Right.
then YouTube could automatically flag you. That's why this dude, I would never ever let him up on my panel, bro, because he got somebody flagged a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm just
Well, let's get back to our topic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to our topic. We're not gonna Okay, I think she's busy right now. So uh, let me go through and get rid of this clown here.
Phoenix is a mod. I think
Yeah, yeah,
Phoenix,
yeah. I think
Phoenix, yeah. Any troll come in sniper.
yeah, and
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 I
I just
yeah.
did. I think she's busy right now. I think she's tended to the family. But
Okay.
anyways, so what? Why? I asked this question right before you got on here, and it was waiting for responses. Um, let me go back just a little bit. Phoenix Rising said women are taught men are supposed to provide, and a lot of women take that as just financial. So they are more financially stable. They feel their man is not doing his job. So
Um. Well, my thing is, number one, if you feel that way, because in life we have choices. If you feel that way, and I'll tell any woman this, if you are worth six figures and you have a six-figure job, find you a six-figure man. That'll solve that issue. Find you a six-figure man. If you got it like that, because and here's the problem with that though. Men don't give a damn about your money. We don't care about men are stimulated by one thing, what we see, the looks. It's the looks.
mhm.
We don't care. Because the thing about a woman, the money you make is your money. That's your money. We ain't, we ain't gonna count your pockets. Now, women uh a preference, one of her strong preferences for a man is what he's making. Men care more about what a man makes than men care about what a woman makes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason, and what to back up my statement is, why do you got a lot of high value women that are attorneys and RNs and doctors and why are they single? Why? I mean, you here in the ATL. Why are a lot of them single?
Well,
Because they're not able to pull men. They're not able to pull men on their level. Because the men that's making six figures, they are looking for dimes or close to it, and they don't give a damn with how much the girl making. Long as she got the looks. Long as she got the looks. A dude would date a high value man would date a dime that's dropping fries at Burger King.
would you say that? Would you say that there are men who are intimidated by women who make more money than them?
Those are insecure men. Do we have insecure men like that? Yes. Those are only insecure men. But those are insecure men. That would be intimidated by a woman that make more money than them. Then you do now. I'm not gonna say every man. Then you got some men. Their preference is not to deal with a woman that makes a lot of money because they feel like, I mean, that woman. I mean, it's perception, man. Perception means a lot. They feel like, okay, well, you got this and you got that. What the hell you need me for? Well, I mean, that's dumb as hell unless that woman keeps that man financially stable. But see, men ain't looking for that. One thing about us men, you got to remember, Phoenix, we have a lot of pride. We like getting it for ourselves. We like getting our own money. A real man. Now them beta dudes that's out here trying to leech and mooch off of you now. I guess that's who you may be referring to. But a real man, they like to get it for themselves. They like to get it for themselves, and they just looking for a good woman. They don't really give a damn about how much money you make or how many degrees you got hanging on your wall. They don't care about that. As long as you love him and treat him right, and you're supportive, and you're not nagging him, and you're not you know, not a hell raiser or anything like that, because it ain't your tax bracket, it ain't your income. And what it comes down to is your heart and your character.
So what you're and just recapping and make sure I'm right,
Mm,
and correct me if I'm wrong. There
mm.
men, there's some men who don't care about a woman making money.
A lot of men don't. They don't care. They don't care about it. Put it like this. A lot of women, they use that as a, like, if they meet a man, they'll go to talking about their career and how much money they're making and stuff like that. Man, we don't give a damn about that. We don't care about all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we see, and then your personality and your character. Your character, your personality. If you and the main thing is the biggest deal breaker with men is the mouth. The biggest deal breaker. I'm telling you, you wanna drive a man away. Just start nagging him. That'll drive a man away. I don't give a damn. You could be making 6, 7 figures. Don't no man want to hear no mouth, because it's enough stress out here in this world that we have to deal with out here in this world. So you come home, when you come home, you want to come home to a peaceful castle. A man home is his castle. You want to come home to peace. But when you come home to hell raising and shit like that, so you catch a hell out in the world, and then you come home catch a hell, man. That ain't no, man. You end up in the emergency room. You end up in the emergency room with heart failure or something, or a high blood pressure.
Let's see what no, what I'm saying is she is supporting him mentally and making sure the money stay coming into the household, not some trick that's just draining him.
And you know the sad thing about it, Miss Phoenix, the sad thing about it is a man, some men, not all, some. Okay, 'cause I don't want a man, guys start coming, oh, Mondo, you don't speak for all of us. Some men, they want to be the breadwinner. Some men just, they were raised traditionally where the man brings home the bacon and the man supports the woman. So they would probably choose the woman with a lesser income.
Mm-hmm.
They will probably go with the woman with the lesser income because they feel like, okay, well,
Mom passed the first.
she needs me. You know, I mean, it just like that sometimes. It just like that sometimes. But you also gotta, I mean, a lot of women, they question why men don't want a woman that makes six figures, or why men don't want high dollar women. Well, why high dollar women don't date men on their own level?
But let me
Have you? I mean, have you ever wondered that? Have you ever wondered that now?
yeah,
Why?
when we had this conversation, I did think about it, and
Yeah.
with the consensus that I feel, and
What they running from? What
Yeah.
are they running from?
yeah, but the I feel as though when it comes to money, and I'm talking about strictly money, it's going to come up to an issue when it comes to someone on your same level. When it comes to 6 figures or more, people who are making 30, 40, or 30, 40, 60 a year, they don't have a problem with if one of the family, if the spouse, one spouse is making 60, the other one's making 40, they make that work. They're like, our money is our money. When it gets up to the higher brackets, but hold on, when it gets up to the higher brackets, it's then I believe then it becomes an issue. There's an issue. Okay, well, I bring 5,000 or more dollars home than you do, or you can't, or we can't get. You can afford everything, but why do I have to? It's always going to be that bickering back and forth when it comes to people, and I can't even tell you. This is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you because I've never been in that 160 bracket. I'm gonna get there eventually, but I've never been in that six-figure bracket just yet.
Well, see, if two people in a relationship and they're having those type of arguments, Sniper, is doomed for failure. That's a relationship that's about to turn toxic. You know why? Because there's competition involved. If you are dating someone and you're in love with each other, then it shouldn't be no competition. It should not be no competition. Why would you want to compete with your woman? And why would a woman want to compete with her man? That ain't what a relationship is all about. You're supposed to be like
Partners.
equally yoked. Y'all supposed to be partners in a relationship, having each other back. You ain't not competing with one another. And that's the issue. That's the issue. That's usually the issue. But I'm just wondering why, a lot of women that's in a high tax bracket, why do they prefer to date men on a lower tax bracket? Is it that they know that the man that's on their level or making more than them or making on the same level as them, that he ain't gonna put up with no mouth? That he's gonna be less tolerant because he can have his pick of the litter? Now, I think that's what it is, to be honest with
you. Why is there a difference when it comes to, in your opinion, when it comes to a man dating somebody out there tax bracket to a woman dating out of their tax bracket? I'll follow right after you with my opinion.
Okay, you got some male gigolos out here. Okay, male gigolos, they will intentionally seek women that are in a high tax bracket. Okay, so them I'm not even going to include in this conversation. Okay, I put them in the scammer category. Okay, all right. Now, most men, believe it or not, most men that end up with women in a high tax bracket I ain't gonna say luck into it. It just happens that way. They ain't trying to, you know, it ain't like they are planning or saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find me a woman that's an attorney, or I'm gonna go out and find me a woman that's a doctor." It usually just happens that way. It ain't like they go seeking for it. It just happened. They at a bar and they meet and they get to get to know one another, whatever, and they get to sharing, s- eh, you know, you know, opening up to each other. And he asked her what she do for a living. Oh, well, I'm an attorney at a law firm downtown. And what do you do? Oh, I'm a mechanic. It just happens that way sometimes. And then they vibing, and she thinks he's a good dude, and he's nice to her. He's attentive to her, and he loves her, or whatever. And they end up getting married, and it just happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
Where, on the other hand, when a female end up with a dude in a high tax bracket, bro, oh, that's designed. That's by design. That female, her preference is a high value man. Her preference is a dude that got that bank.
I think, or before I want to make sure you're done.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh, I think when a man tries to, and this is some of it, and I don't think it's insecurity or whatever. I think it's an intimidation thing. In some instances, because You made a comment earlier. Some men be like, "Hey, if you're making all this money, what you need, want to do with me?" And she could be really feeling them. You know what I'm saying? I think it's an intimidation thing because it's always that thought in the back of the head. Sometimes, in my opinion, that it's going to be used against them, and in some way, some fashion. Well, you only make 50,000 a year, and I make 120.
The first time she does it, you got a choice. You can put up with it for the rest of your life, or you leave, because you can take that 50 and you can turn that 50 into your own 100 if you're
That is true.
smart with it, and you know how, if you do your research and you get with the right people that know the right people that know the right people that know the right people. Because see, in real life, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when they come at you like that, man, hey man, bounce. Bounce. Because life is too short to be going through all that. That right there can really stress you out. And the thing is, and I'm not just saying this about women that are high value, that's in the high tax bracket, women and men. This goes for the women and the men that's making that kind of money. They are, some of them, and let's just be honest, some of them are control freaks.
Oh, yes, yes. That was the second point I was going to make.
Yeah, some of them
Second
are
point.
control freaks, and they had to be that way to get to where they are. So, and a lot of those people, they'll bring their jobs home with them. And when I mean by they'll bring their jobs home with them, they may be like over a department and have to tell people what to do, how to do it, and to tell people they have to, get on people's asses at work and stuff like that. So they'll bring that crap home with them.
That is, I was
And
going to
yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and use it on you. So it's up to you if you want to put up with it. And you ain't got to put up with it, because just because that person making 120K a year and you making 50K, what make them better than you? What made them better than you?
No, hey, you know what? Just because, and I honestly believe, just because you make money, you still a human being at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
still a female. You're still a male at the end of the
Mm,
day.
mm,
And if you're gonna find somebody, I honestly believe that if you got money, okay, money. What money does? Only thing that money does is help you survive, put a roof over your head, put food on your table, clothes on your back. Because and I'm not talking about expensive clothes, but put clothes on your back and be able to do everyday thing. But money should not control you or your relationship at the end of the day.
mm. Exactly. And unfortunately, some people that got money, that's got that's in that 6 figure, 7 figure bracket, they'll use that to control you. They'll use that to control you. That's why what I was saying earlier, a lot of those women that make that kind of money, they prefer to date down. When I mean by date down, I ain't talking about look wise. They prefer to date down. They prefer to date men that make less than them, way less than them. They'll date a mechanic, or they'll date a guy that does landscaping, or yeah, you got some women, man, that are attorneys, man. They'll date a dude that does landscaping. Because they feel that they could control that brother. They feel like he would have to put up with more versus a man that's on their level financially. A man that's on their level financially, he ain't finna put up with that. He ain't finna put up with no mouth. Mm-mm. because he know he can have his pick of any women, especially like depending on where they at. Like if they live in New York or Chicago or LA or in New Orleans or ATL or Miami, somewhere where you know it's a high population of beautiful women. Oh man, please.
But it's picking that right one because
Huh?
it's picking that right one because you don't want to get in a situation. And here's another topic: is for men and women. You find that we mentioned it before about a man or a woman finds the opposite sex with, and they are just the so-called gold diggers. I'm just going to date a dude who makes this money, like you've been saying before, or I'm just going to date a girl who makes money, and they and they're just mooching off of them. They're just draining the bank account.
Okay. I got a good answer for that. The women, the high value women that will allow men to do that to them are the ones that are insecure and they choose to date that they'll date down. They know this man is only with them for their money, but they probably, I mean, they probably less attractive and they got money. They're high value women. They probably less attractive and they'll just, they with that guy, and I guess the guy just putting it down in the bedroom good, so they'll put up with that for him. They know, you know, he uh, he probably with them for the money, but they rather be with somebody that's, with them for some reason than to be alone. Usually it's women that just don't want to be alone. Cause like I said, it's harder for women in that tax bracket to find a man than it is for a man that's in a man that's in that tax bracket, a man that's got six figures, that got a nice house, that got a nice whip. He can find a woman snap of his finger. He can go to a bar right now, downtown Buckhead, and I promise you, he won't walk out of there empty-handed. He
What
can
you
just go
say?
walk. He can
What you
just
say?
walk up in that bar and point.
What you say? He just show that black card,
Yeah,
and
all he
it's
got,
over
man,
with.
all he got is, hey, man, you know the routine, man. Okay, you see a fine honey sitting at the bar. She's sitting at the bar by herself. Walk up there to the bar, tell the bartender you want to order a drink, and say, hey, I want to start a tab, and put that darn black card down. Hand him that American Spread, that Amex black card.
Hey, heartbeat. That's my sister-in-law right there, y'all.
Salute to you. Salute to your heartbeat.
So, uh, uh, heartbeat. That what we're doing is we're discussing the differences between a man and a woman who makes more money in dating. I love you too, baby. Um, she's married to my. It's not really my sister-in-law, but I known her husband since eighth grade.
Okay.
And me and him have the same name and same birthday, so you already know what that is. And literally, the only thing that's different between us is that, and we'll say it all the time. I'm black, he Puerto Rican. Santiago in my last name, and but other than that, we are like twins. We cannot be in the same place at all because we finish each other's sentences all the time.
Okay.
That's my that's and she is a wonderful woman. Um, we're discussing about a woman who makes more money than her man and how he feels about that, and we're into different subjects. So, if you got anything you want to say, or I know my brother, if he's listening, he gonna say a lot. Uh, Back to this control thing. Is it more of, and I have my opinion on it, but if for you in the chat, uh, I made more than done it for years. I know, I know. Until now, he finally grew up. Um, do women control the relationship more if she makes more money than
Nope.
men control?
Nope. That's just an outside perception. Nope.
Mm.
Not over a real man. A real man's man would not allow that. A real man's man is still gonna be the man in the relationship. Even though she, on paper, she is the breadwinner. She's financially in a higher tax bracket. But if you the man, you the man. You the
Mm-hmm.
man of the house.
I would say, but I honestly believe that men sometimes, some men use that as a controlling mechanism. I make more money than you. You can't say nothing to me.
Some
I,
women or men.
I say that some men, they control, they do what they want. Some men do that
To
where
women,
to women. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when that woman shouldn't put up with it. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That's a narcissist. You are with a narcissist. Only a narcissist would do that. You're with a narcissist and you need to get away. That's the sign, early sign of a toxic relationship. Because that
Mm-hmm.
person right now, they're letting you know, all right, I control this, I run this, and I'm about to lay the law down. I'm about to put some stipulations on you. Next thing you know, they're gonna be telling you who you should have as friends. They're gonna be picking your friends, picking your wardrobe. Then they're gonna be telling you what kind of foods you should eat. Then they're gonna be telling you, oh, you shouldn't drink this, you shouldn't drink that. They're gonna be trying to change you. Yeah, it's control. So if you allow it, if you start allowing it, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. Because some people are addicted to power, just like some people are addicted to alcohol and addicted to sex. Some people are addicted to power. And they'll utilize that on the person that they're with in a relationship. So if you find yourself in that situation, get out of it. Don't put up with that. Just because a person making more money than you, don't make them better than you. They hurt and cry and bleed the same way as you do. Just because they making more money than you, don't make them better than you. Society will paint that picture. Oh well, the haves are better than the have-nots. No, it's not like that. Not in real
Mm-hmm.
life. Because that person could be, man, that person could be very miserable. The person with them that make money, they could be the most lonely, miserable person in the world. Why do you think a lot of millionaires and celebrities they commit suicide?
Mm.
Because they're
Because
not happy.
they're not happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And we're talking about their only happiness those millionaires know is money.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But if a person love my thing is, Sniper, if a person love and respect you, if a person love and respect you, they would not do that to you. If that woman really loves you, Sniper, she would not throw that up in your face. Because you know what, man, that when someone does that, whether it's a female or a male, they doing that to hurt you. They doing that to hurt you. They
Yeah.
doing that to put you in your place. And unfortunately, women that when a man when that's done to women, they tend to stay in that relationship. They instead of just leaving and going on and figuring it out for themselves.
Yeah. It like you said, toxic, and that falls under that umbrella of an abusive relationship.
Yes, it
You're
does.
constantly getting beat and constantly being abused,
Mm,
and you stay there.
that's mental abuse. That's mental
Yeah.
abuse. Only I'm telling you, only a narcissist would do that. Throw that up in your face. And if that happens, leave. I don't give a damn how fine she is. I don't give a damn if she making seven figures and just bought you a brand new Ferrari or whatever. Hand her the keys to the Ferrari back. Whatever clothes she bought you, leave it hanging in the closet and just pack whatever you brought with you and get the hell on.
Yeah. Because in some and not all, some of those you think is a gift and they turn around and use that against you in any situation. Just like in a relationship, uh, oh, that's the reason why you can't get a job like me, and blah 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 blah, because this and this and this and this. Same thing. I brought you that. I brought you that. I could take it away from you, and da 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 da. That is so toxic in so many ways. And
Mm-hmm.
again, then let's just say, but how can we flip that to a person? And I'm trying to word this right. Let's just say, I don't know. I'm making less money than my homegirl Phoenix Rising. Me and her together, I make less money to her, and I start the toxic with, you're just with me because of this. I don't do this. I don't make this, but you're just with me because of this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not this. I'm not blah 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 blah.
Wait a minute now. So so in other words, you're saying to her, "Oh, you just with me because I got less than you, and you with me because you think I'll put up with this more
Right, right.
than a man on
Basically,
your level." Then
yeah.
she need to get away from you because you got insecurity issues. She need to get away from you
That brings, and
because
then that goes
you're not ready for her. You're not ready for
right.
her. Mhm.
Because hey, you know what? Not everybody, not every man
Not every
uh,
man can handle that.
can
No,
handle
sir.
a so-called. Excuse my French, ladies. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm saying that you are. Everybody can't handle a boss bitch. A true, the one who can hold it down. You do something. You making less than her, but she's gonna be. You know what? Listen, don't even worry about it, because I'm gonna work my ass off to get to what we want.
But you know what though? That don't pertain to a woman that's okay. So that woman that's with you, she ain't no boss. She ain't no boss bitch. She your partner. Y'all in it together. Ain't nobody the boss of nobody. You're not the boss of her, and she's not the boss of you. You're
Yes,
the
sir.
man. You're the head of the relationship. Now she could be a boss at her job, but when she walk out that building and she, you know, put her key through that door and leave out that building and leave her job and get in that car, crank up and come home to you, ain't no boss. Y'all 50-50. Y'all are partners. Y'all in it together. Y'all Bunny and Clyde. Bunny and Clyde wasn't the, Clyde. They wasn't the boss. They were partners.
Yeah. So, do you agree with the statement I made about there's no such thing as 50-50? If I um if I fall short 1 month, and I was using the example of, I'm a construction worker, she is, okay, like we said, she's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Um and construction workers, they work on, um they work on the weather dictates what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say, like this week right here, we had what, 3-4 days of rain,
Mm-hmm.
and my money's short this month.
Mm-hmm.
As a partner,
Mm-hmm.
if I can only put up 40 for this
Mm-hmm.
month, or 2 months, or three, or I lose my job and I still got money, saved over, I can only do 40% this, for this 2 months, until I get it, until the other job comes through, and then, but your partner, your teammate, should not have a problem doing the other 60.
No, she wouldn't have no problem. If she had a problem with it, then she wouldn't date a man that makes way less than her. The fact that
Mm.
she's with you, a woman
And
know.
she's
I
with
mean,
you.
come on, when she done vetted you, she know everything about you. She know you're a construction worker. She know during the winter, like during the winter, early winter, late fall, is a rain season. It's you miss 2-3 days out of the week. You might be working twice a week. or 2.5. I mean, you might be working 2.5 days, like 2 days that it don't rain, Monday through Friday, and they may let you come in on that Saturday for like a couple of hours. You know,
Right.
she, just by her being with you, that ain't no problem with her. That is not going to be a problem with her. If it was a problem with her, she wouldn't even date a man that makes less than her. So, you know, when I think about 50-50, I'm thinking about the whole thing, the relationship,
Right.
50-50 love, 50-50 time, 50-50 communication. Finance shouldn't even be the a main factor. That's why when I hear people talking about 50-50 and 50-50, you know, that's usually people that's in the same tax bracket. Now, if y'all were in the same tax bracket, then I can understand. Yeah, you know, like, okay, y'all work it out where it's 50-50. Like, you get a guy that's a mechanic and a female that's a hairstylist, and they about in the same tax bracket. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do a 50-50 thing, but it can never be a 50-50 thing if she makes 200K a year and you making 60K a year. How the how is that gonna work? How is that gonna work?
Well, I mean, if you live
I mean, come on, bro.
in, hey, look,
she
hey,
she
hey,
ain't expecting that to work. She's with you because she love you, and you putting the wood down in the bedroom, and you being a gentleman to her, and you make her feel good. You laugh, and you're a good communicator. She with you for you. She ain't with you for your money. Salute to you together.
what's going on, sis?
That's right, heartbeat. It's never 50-50. It's giving all you can to the person you love. That's exactly what it is.
Hey, Miss V.
Salute to you, Miss V.
This and
So I mean
no, I understand. No, no, no. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, so that right there, that's my answer to the question is just by her being with you. That right there should tell you that, oh, she don't give a damn if you come up short. She don't give a damn how much. I mean, if she's making 200K and you making 60K, she already know what she signed up for. She already know that she probably gonna end up paying majority of this, a majority of that, and she see potential in you. And one day, you will be on her tax bracket level because she see potential in you. You could be a construction worker today, and then 2-3 years from now, own your own construction company, and then boom, you making shit 200K a year. Because you know, people that own their own construction company and they get them top dollar contracts. Oh man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's the thing, and it's just like, and I love using my parents as a prime example of that. You know, my mom, for the longest time, she'd been in school. I thought my mother never graduate to begin with because she was in school forever. To me, it seems,
Hmm.
doing the nursing thing. And but my father supported that, and certain amount of years in the Navy, doing odd jobs, like being the not the head, okay, we'll say it, the head chef in jail, in a jail, um, doing running 2 or 3 restaurants, until my mother got to the point where she got her PhD. Now she owns her own business. But that support factor was there the whole time. She didn't have to worry about nothing. Their tax practice was different. But she supported until she got to the point where now they're equal, and now she can do what he did for her. Or because she supported him for years while he was in the military. the favor turned around that he did it for her, so she can have her dream of owning her own business. And it blossomed just like that. And most people don't do that when it comes to the different brackets. You got to a spot in your life that and then you choose somebody, and now you supposed to build that other person up to get, like you said, get to the same level you are, or close enough to it, or get above it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be those lonely nights because that person is out there busting their tails to do what they got to do.
Well, they see the potential in you, but it's up to you to build yourself up to their level. It's up to you. But they see the potential in you. They know you trying, and that right there, is why they don't mind. They wouldn't mind being with you, regardless that you're making, less than them, because they see a potential that, hey, 3-5 years from now, this brother he'll be on my tax bracket. He'll be on my tax bracket level.
What makes more sense, behind a strong woman or behind a good man is a strong woman?
I never liked that saying. I never liked that saying. I never liked it. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't want no woman to stand behind me. I want a woman to stand with me.
You better talk about it, brother.
So I never liked that saying. Never liked it.
And you know what? I hated that comment, because again, if we're partners, we're side by side. Mm-hmm. We might be off a little bit, arm's distance away a little bit, because again, I made it to a spot where I'm making more than you, but at the end of the day, we are right next to each other. And eventually I could be able to pull you close to me, that we hip to hip, and I support you to get to where you need to be. And now we're both successful, and we have nothing to worry about. If we depend on each other, just like my sister, as long as we do God, husband, wife, we have nothing to worry about. It's those people who don't do it like that. They put work before God. They put work before their husband and wife. Mm-hmm. They put work for, and they're thinking that they are providing, but they're really not providing, because again, like I said earlier in my opening statement, providing doesn't mean financially. Mm-mm. If a man or a woman has that mindset and bringing, and more of a man, I can only speak for a man. If you're bringing that stability in, not only financially, but mentally for your partner, physically, we know what that's about for your partner. Being there for your partner, that's providing. Money, I've seen, and you probably seen it too, I've seen people who are not, they don't even know how to spell tax bracket, but they're successful together at what they do together. They don't let the world dictate. Don't listen to the outside world or you have to have this amount of money to be successful. Now we can make this and be successful.
And you can't be listening to your homegirl or your homeboys. Like your homeboys telling you, "Oh man, she made more money than you." Oh, shoot, she wear the pants in the family. You can't listen to that. You can't listen to that. And the females that's making more money than they man, can't let these females be getting in your head. Oh, he leeching off you. He with you for your money.
Yeah.
It's the outside folks that be trying to get in your ear, because they jealous. They jealous of what y'all got. So they'll try to plant seeds of doubts in your head.
And stop being jealous of everybody else or what they got. That is a sin,
Mhm.
people. That
Mhm.
is a sin. If you're jealous of
Envy.
your neighbor because your neighbor is driving a 2024 Scat Pack,
Mhm. Envy. That's one of the
envy,
7 deadly sins.
yeah. But there's a and now you're killing yourself. What was the old statement? Living like the Joneses.
Mhm.
You killing yourself to be a part of the Joneses, but you don't have the same mentality, the same work ethic, the same uh, um, potential that they have. You got to stop doing that. And like you said, and like Armando said, you got to people out here got to stop listening to their friends
Mhm.
because just because, first of all, if your friend is single, she trying to if your friend is single, they're already jealous of what you got, which is envy, which is a
Mhm.
sin. Okay,
Mhm.
your man is you got a hardworking man or you got a hardworking woman that goes out and busts their tail every day.
Mhm.
Come home, oh, why you have to cook his dinner? You work too. You make just as much more money than him. You make more money than him. Why you got to do this? Why you got to do that? Why you got to cook her? You know, why you got to take her out all the time? It's crazy. With dating, and this go, and I want to see what the I wish I would have came up with this early. It came up this question early and made a poll for it. When should you start talking about financial stability when you're starting to vet someone or starting to date someone? When should you start talking about it?
It's okay to have that conversation. There's nothing wrong with having that conversation. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. I mean, she want to know everything about. She's vetting you. She
Right.
want to know everything. She want to get to know you. So there's nothing wrong with having that discussion. You know.
I believe it like this right here. It's right off the top. And I don't care. And again, I'm one of those dudes who don't care how much money you make.
Mm-hmm.
If you make more than me or less than me, I don't care. My question is, have your lights been turned off lately? Have your water been turned off lately? Why you ain't got no heat in your house? What's wrong with your gas? How many times you been evicted?
Well, you really can't judge a woman based off that because she may
But
just
if she,
be she may just be going through a hardship time.
but
So I wouldn't judge her based off that.
no, but here's the flip side to it. She out here with all these. Is she responsible with her money? Is she setting herself up for the future?
Well, you also got to think about this. Maybe she was never with a man that really sat her down and really talked to her about maybe taking managing her finances seriously.
Mm-hmm. Or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said there's a lot. I believe, in my opinion, and y'all can correct me. A lot of men are not setting their self up for the future, and don't have that person to say, hey, listen, you spend this $100 on these shoes, and the same thing for women. You spend this $100 for your shoes. Why can't we say that for 2 years down the line we can go on a trip, or put that in our savings just in case we both come up on a stump one day or there's a speed bump in the road and you got to fix your car or you got to
Option number two sounds a lot better because I'm gonna be honest with you. Spending $100 on a pair of shoes and spending thousands of dollars on a trip, it to me, it ain't that much difference. You wasting money. You wasting money. And here's why. Okay. In every state, there is a nice area where you can take a little vacation without getting on the damn plane, flying all across the country or flying overseas. Every state has a nice, some nice, something nice, like a little nice amusement park or some like nice little vacation area in your state that you can go to without spending a whole lot of money. We got some here in Georgia.
We got a lot here in Georgia.
Tybee Island, Blue Ridge Mountain. I mean, come on, we got them here in Georgia. Callaway Gardens.
I
You
wouldn't put
know what I'm
that.
saying?
I wouldn't put Callaway Gardens in a nice spot to go, bro.
Well, I mean, last time I was down there was nice.
Yeah, when was that?
That was like back in the early 2000s.
Okay, well, go ahead and travel that 2.5 hour drive down there and see what it's about. I've been there recently, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We might want to leave that, but hey, speaking about it, there's a spot, and I think it's in some mountains, not mountains. There's a nice little Airbnb that has this glass getaway cabin, but it's not in Sicily, 1922. What?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Hey, heartbeat. But you know what? Hey, and I'm and just a little bit of pushback. I understand what Armando's saying. I know where I want to get on this call with you. Okay. Oh, this is a blessing, y'all. Y'all just don't know this. This is a blessing. Copy. Fine. I just learned how to do post my own stuff down here. So, booyah! There it is. Go ahead and hit the link. But some people would like to get out of their state. I've been, like you said, I've been to Tybee Island. I've been to, and I could go right down the street a little bit more. I've been to Myrtle Beach. I've been to, been to up to the. I haven't stayed in the cabins in Blue Ridge. That's my next adventure. But some people like to, I understand what you're saying, to saving money and taking these expensive trips across the country and stuff like that. But some people have a bucket list and want to try it. It takes money. It takes saving.
My thing is to each his own. But you taking these expensive trips, you throwing away a lot of money, because once the trip is over, you get on the plane, come back home, all that money gone.
Yeah,
I'm talking about airfare. You paying. You gotta have something to eat. Got to have a hotel. When you get there, you ain't just gonna sit up in the hotel all day and night. You're gonna wanna you're gonna want to go out somewhere. You're gonna want to do a little shopping. Then you may have to get some personal things while you're there. You're gonna want to get some souvenirs. I mean,
right. It's just
versus
like
just putting that money in a CD account and letting it build.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, because just like what Heartbeat said, living in Virginia, you can only go to the beach so much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you live in that area. You can only go to. Okay, and use Safari. Don't use anything else. Use Safari when you come up. That's the only way it's going to allow you to come up. You go to Busch Gardens. What's the other theme park in Virginia? King's Dominion. You can only go there so much. So sometimes you want to get out of your state. Maybe traveling to the state next to you.
Travel to the state next to you, or you can go. I'm just saying, every state has some nice getaway vacation spots. Every state, including Alabama. You got Muscle Shoals down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is uh I mean, come on, man. Maine, you got the lighthouses up there, the beaches. You got nice beaches and the lighthouses up in Maine. You know, you don't have to get on a plane and fly to Paris and get on a plane and fly to London unless you got it like that. Now,
Right.
if you got it like that, you can do it. But if both of y'all are on a budget and y'all are not in those 7-figure tax bracket and that like that, man, I just don't understand the logic of getting on a plane, flying across the world, and blowing a whole lot of money. I just never understood the logic of that.
Yeah. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. This is a pleasure. That's right there. That picture right there is my best friend in the whole wide world. That's my twin. But I know we're gonna hear a sweeter voice on here. Yeah, how you doing, Heartbeat?
What's up, brother? How
hell, hell! I was not expecting your voice.
I know. Fauna had to run downstairs real quick because she had ordered something and it came to the door. And she was like, "Oh, the timing was off. I apologize," but she asked me to jump on here and just set it up. So I'll be out of here in a minute.
Hey, no, man.
I'll be out in a minute, bro. What's up?
Hey, this is a perfect opportunity. Again, y'all. This is I call him. We got the same name, but you know, on the YouTube station. This is Heartbeat. I've known Heartbeat since the 8th grade. And there's a story. There's a story how we became best friends. And there goes my sister right now. I hear her voice.
Yeah. So this is the woman you want to talk to right here. Like honestly, man, it fills me and not I apologize, not to be rude, but the other gentleman on the call, your name is
Armando.
Armando, I think I met you before. Wait, is this the gentleman who lives down the street from you?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, different. No. Well, but I'm sorry. I apologize, but it fills my heart with love and joy to hear you on here having discussions like this with people. And I just want to say that I haven't had really any opportunity to listen to the context of the call, to hear about what's going on. But Fauna was super excited. She came in, she was like, "Tony's on, he's doing this thing, and he sent it to you, and I'm on here." And she's super excited. And it sounds like she's been handling her business, talking to you guys and staying on the topic. So I'm gonna get out of the way. But keep doing this. And I do want to have a conversation with you later on too about all the things you guys are talking about. I love conversations like this. What's up?
Yeah, hey, stay on here with Fauna, because y'all can both answer it.
I can't. So this is. I'll stay here and listen, but I'm on my setup at home, and so we can only really, I've got there's a headset and a mic, and actually I got a camera too here set up. She doesn't want the camera so much, so I won't put the camera on. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep the camera off and put her on with you, but I'll be in the background, man, and I'll contribute via text message.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me put her on. Armando, it was a pleasure, and thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you too, bro.
Yes, sir. Here you go, Mama.
Camera's off.
Yes, the camera is off.
Oh, I see you, Fauna. Hey.
Hey,
and Tony. I love my wife. I'm supposed to say that. I love my wife.
Shut up. Wait, where is the feed? So there's a bunch of messages that everybody's writing.
Yeah. So this is.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm interrupting.
That's
all
okay.
This.
These are the messages, and so you can.
Hey, Armando, while he's explaining that, this is the one I said my niece is in. Goes to the University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Just speaking of.
Oh my God.
Hey, they just became Alabama fans last year.
Okay? Oh, shut it. But you're transient. Right. You're totally right.
They're transients. So everything's good, Fauna?
Everything is very well. So I'm going to introduce myself. I am Tony's wife, who is Tony's.
Yeah, that didn't work too well. Yeah, I think you muted it.
Shut up.
Oh.
No, so Tony and Tony are BFFs, if you want to say that as females, but for males, they are best friends since what, middle school, Tony?
Since 8th grade.
Yeah, since before middle school. And they have the same freaking birthday, same name. It's fucking weird. But I've been married to Tony, my Tony, for the past seven, we just hit 17 years.
17 years.
I think. Yeah. So yeah, here I am. I've been listening to y'all tonight and putting my little 2 cents in where it said that Tony was writing to y'all, but it was me. That, relationships are definitely not 50-50. It's fucking give it your all every time on both ends. Money doesn't fucking matter when excuse my language, I'm so sorry. I curse like a fucking sailor.
Hey, the only thing is fun is that YouTube does have like,
Okay.
sometimes they censor us. So it just I mean, say what you say. I'm not censored at all. I know you. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I met my husband a long time ago, and it's he fucking didn't have a fucking pot to puss in.
Stop swearing.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
He didn't have a lot of money when I first met him. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay. So he didn't have money. I have been a nurse for a very long time and had money, I guess. Now he makes tenfold. But even then, when he didn't have that, it didn't matter. That wasn't even a part of our relationship. Anything I could do for him to make him happy and be better, and our situation be better. And then when kids came into play, even more so. And now I kind of work for extra. Our kids obviously are older now. We've got one that is off to college, Roll Tide, who is in a sorority, who requires a lot of money. And then, other children who are in high school that have, things going on. So I kind of go to work for extra stuff, but he definitely takes care of all of that now. But I worked full time while he was in school and doing his thing and not making money. So money just shouldn't be a freaking thing when it comes to a relationship. And if a woman thinks that money is end all be all, then no, you need to just keep it moving. That's just my opinion. That's ridiculous.
Has it ever come across your mind when in the younger stages of your relation? And I know the answer to this, but this was like an interview.
Okay.
And I know my brother. So did it ever come across your mind or come across his mind where, because he was at a stage in his life where he was not working, not making money to sustain the household, that you was inferior to him, or he was intimidated by you?
Absolutely not. I guess it depends on what woman you ask. I am a very traditional, conservative woman. My husband is the man of the house. Yes, I was working, but he was doing all of the other things. Not that he shouldn't be doing those things, or at least I feel like he should be doing those things, whether I was making the money or not. But he was caring for the kids, caring for the house while I was working, while he was going to school full time. But while I was working, he had those responsibilities to be caring for the house, the lawn, just all those things. I guess, that in a traditional sense he should be doing, and he was. And to this day, he still makes, I mean, at this point, he makes maybe 4 times more than me, but still does those masculine, traditional husband things.
Right.
Can I jump in there for just a second though? What kind of like just to what he said about his question? He was saying something about, you know, or I'm sorry, you opened up with traditional, you know, how you feel, right? About, you know, being the traditional roles of a woman in a relationship, which from what I gather, that's what the conversation is about.
It was like an hour ago.
In a traditional relationship, a woman can have those feelings, but if a man does not reciprocate, there's no equilibrium.
Huge.
There's nothing there, right? It doesn't feed off of, right? It doesn't work, because you could have that feeling that I need to be doing this and that as a woman. And then the dude's like, yeah, you should be doing this and that as a woman. But if the man doesn't have his priorities straight, what he needs to be doing as a man, and that doesn't always necessarily mean I'm going to be out there, I need to be weed whacking, I need to be cutting the grass, I need to be taking out the trash. Because with you and I, it wasn't like that. It was, I need to be at home with my kids from 6 a.m.
You were taking out the
to
kids.
to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And then I got to go to school and I got to come back. So for like, I think that it's important to know that like for a man, really what a traditional male role means is you do what you got to do.
100%.
You know, you do what needs to be done to support your family. You got to swallow your pride and what you think. You know, you think that a man's got to go outside all the time and lift 400 pounds and, you know, construction work all day and sweat to bring home the bread. But sometimes that's not the deal.
No, I agree.
And that's important.
100%.
So
whatever makes the family work.
Yeah. So, Tony, you can still hear me, right?
Say, can you hear him?
Did he just like drop the mic?
Yeah.
Did he like drop the mic and left?
He was about to walk the fuck out, but I was like, "Hey, do you hear him?"
Oh
no.
wait, hold on. I can hear him now.
Can you hear him now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He can hear you.
And again, I know both of y'all like the back of my hand. At any point where you were at your what?
I'm not fucking swearing. I just swore. Shit.
At any point did you feel, because she was making the money and you wasn't, and did you ever feel less than a man at that point?
Antonio. He just walked by. I don't know if he can hear you. Hold on one second.
Okay. Armando, if you got questions, please ask him, brother.
Serious question. Did I ever feel like, I never felt like less of a man at that point. No, man, never once. Like never once. So I was in the Guard at the time, right? Like I got out of the military, active duty.
I just think it might have been different because you had dad roles. Like you were a dad of like 2, 3 plus kids.
Yeah, maybe it's different for a person who doesn't have kids. And that's a whole nother thing. Like that's why I say people should have kids. Kids make you better. Kids make you see things in a completely different perspective.
I agree.
From a completely different, right? And a whole nother, like from a completely different just perspective. You can't just be sitting there and like, if you're a single dude and you don't have your life laid out, you don't have the career and you got a woman kind of running things, then maybe I could see like that seems like, you know, there's some sort of a threat, or, you know, you're not living up to your full potential or up to even your own expectations. That I get. But when you have kids that depend on you, who, you know, like really, like they need to have their teeth checked. These kids need to have shots. They need to get to school. They got to have clothes. They got to have food. I don't care. I would be willing to do damn near anything to make sure that my kids had what they needed to have and take whatever back seat I needed to take in order to make that happen. So never once did I feel that me being home and my wife being the breadwinner, making like double what I made, it made me feel bad. I was like, yo, at least money's being made. Like, and there may be something in the back of my mind was like,
I should do
yeah,
more.
that's good, but it's not enough. And what am I doing or not doing that's, you know, contributing or not contributing to this situation? And I need to get my crap together. And, you know, and that's what, but that's what we were doing. Like, it wasn't just, I need to get my crap together. It's looking at my wife and like, how are we going to get our crap together so that we can make things better for all of us? So it was never really you know, I feel bad about, you know, for myself.
And I don't think you were ever in that situation where you were doing it because it was easy or because it was something that you like needed to do. It was, you were going to school, you were working, you were doing what you needed to do to get to your end all, which even now I don't even think it is your end all. You're still, what's the word?
Well,
You're still grinding. You're still, you know, looking
working,
for other
yeah.
jobs. You're still, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
looking for the next
for
level,
the next
looking for the
level.
next opportunity.
yeah,
Yeah.
for our family. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
Armando, you got any questions for these two nutheads?
I'm sorry, we took up a lot.
Nah, man.
No,
I'll let you answer I'll let you ask the question, brother.
Oh, but look, I already know the answers to all these questions. That's what I'm saying. Throw some questions out there to them.
Yes, talk to us.
Give me a minute. Let me think of something.
Okay. Yeah, we were at a movie this afternoon, and on our way there, I'm looking through, so he's getting on me. So our daughter, the one that is at Alabama, yes, I know y'all are gonna
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Put your fucking thumbs down. But
Okay.
you know, sorry, he keeps telling me to stop swearing. I'm sorry. I'm not cussing. I'm sorry. I've just, anyways, we were talking about our oldest daughter, and you know, he's like, she needs to get a job, you know, whatever. So she was supposed to be tutoring and making a little bit of money on the side with her sorority, yada yada yada. And so I sent her like this Indeed ad. I was like, oh, Books a Million. This chick loves to fucking read. It's crazy. And he's mad at me because I just said fuck. I'm
Just
sorry.
Let her talk, Tony. Let her talk.
Jesus.
It's okay.
Okay. He walked out the room. Okay. So I'm sorry. I have a mouth. I can't. All right. Anyways. So I sent her an Indeed app an Indeed ad that was for like Books a Million because she loves to read. And I was like, you know, you can do this part-time or whatever. She was supposed to do some BS, you know, tutoring, make some money with her sorority or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be working out. So I sent her that. And then Indeed obviously has their, I don't know what it's called, but like, you know, what I do, what Tony does, you know, whatever, like it just gives you jobs or whatever for you and whomever.
Right.
So there was a job for Tony, and I was like, oh my gosh, do you want to do that? Do you want to do that? And he was like, well, I don't know. Maybe Tony. And he left. I don't know why he
Don't forget, you got to use initials when it's both of us around.
Okay, I know. So my husband, that Tony, that one. So we were talking about the Indeed thing, and
Yeah.
I got on the rant of Riley and why we initially went on to Indeed, and then
I heard you, and you were talking about the job. What about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that?
Oh, where you were going? Well, because I know where you're going with that. So where you're going with that was like always looking for the next thing. So
yes.
I have a job I've been working from home since 2015, which honestly is not anything that I'm.
He doesn't
super,
like.
I don't
He
really
doesn't.
Like
he doesn't.
But so before the pandemic, because I do an IT job, so I bounced from, well, not job to job. I actually, it's been really more of a progression. So I went from one job where I was doing like network engineering type stuff to now I'm doing
Stuff you don't like.
cloud infrastructure engineering, which right, it's all coding. I don't necessarily like it as much. But I mean, it pays so well. It's like, I'm slave to it, right? At this point, where you make so much money, you kind of get locked in.
And you have a bunch of fucking kids. Like, you don't have a choice.
Stop swearing.
Sorry.
Yeah, please. And then what you run into is
we have a lot of kids.
And then you run into this issue where it's like you make a certain amount of money for so long, you know what I mean? You have to make that becomes your standard. And then so you found this other job that I could technically be doing while I'm doing my other job,
because it's a contract
for a whole nother salary.
Yeah, it's
a whole nother 6-figure salary. So it's like, so there's an ethical question. Is like, is that right to do, right? Because I mean, you're looking at, and you talk about the Bible, no man can serve two masters. That's just not possible. And that's how I kind of feel when it comes to a job, but that's not necessarily the right way to think about it, I don't think. But I don't want to get caught up, because technically I'm not supposed to do that, number one, right? If I can't be working on their stuff,
I understand,
during the day, for one company, and then I'm not supposed to be mixing up like that. There's some people who do that with where I work at, because they live in other countries, so the time zone split is like enough. It's like their daytime job is this company and their nighttime job is that company. But I'm going to be really splitting more hairs than that. So, but anyway, that's what we were talking about today. And I think that's the point that you were trying to make with the whole, always looking for the next level, always looking for the next step kind of thing. But I think what's more important, like the more important topic surrounding this conversation is because they're talking about relationships, and how that impacts relationships. And they're talking about families and how it impacts family. I think one of the more important questions to ask is how negatively your job schedule impacts our family, which is when I mean, it's true though. I mean, people, you want to talk about, everyone wants to talk about the good all the time, the good. But really what helps people is when we talk about some of the things that are negative. I mean, listen, you have a good job. You make good money.
I don't make good
You
money.
do? Oh my God. I mean, you make good money. You make $38 an hour is not good money. Go ahead.
I make
poll the crowd and tell me $38 an hour ain't good money.
I make more.
Hey, Armando, $38 an hour make good money, Armando?
But the problem is I work.
Yes, sir. That's good money. That's good money.
Compared to my husband, that ain't shit. Sorry. But
that's good. Exactly, Armando. That is good
decent.
Money.
It is.
And what I'm saying, but what the point of this is that
I take away from my family.
It's not. No. I'm not saying you take away from the family. What I'm saying is the business takes away from the family, right? Like your hours, right? So she's a nurse, and how do nurses make money? They work nights. They work weekends. When you're working nights and weekends, you're not present during the day, and you're not there on the weekends, and that makes it extremely difficult. But listen, this is nothing unique to us. These are sacrifices families all over the place are making, and my God, for families who don't have two parents, that rips the heart out of the family. Number one,
I agree.
I mean, what kind of really, truly, when your family doesn't have two parents, number one, that's half a family. And then for the mother to not be, or the father to not be present, right? Whoever's the caretaker for the children, to not be present because they have a schedule that makes them a zombie during the day when they're off work because their circadian rhythm is off, and and then they're not there in the evenings or barely there in the mornings to see the kids off because they're so tired because they just work 12 hours. Like that is the only issue I have with your schedule and your job. But
Armando.
Anyway, we'll just.
I know we've totally taken over their fucking thing. I'm so sorry, Tony.
The question I was going to ask, they already went into it on their own.
Hey, look
about the time and does it take away from the family? That was going to be my question, but they already elaborating on it on their
It's a
own.
lot. And you want to know what? Like for years, it actually kind of worked when the kids were young. I worked weekends. I was home all week, so we didn't need daycare. And then he worked during the week and was off on the weekends and had the kids run out. So we made it work.
How did it? How? And again, I know the answer to this question. The times where my twin would have to go away for months for school.
Oh, yes. So
how did you and the babies? And I don't care how old they are, they're still babies.
Yeah, we still deal with this, Tony. Seriously, still, obviously, because Cruz, our youngest is autistic, so we still need 24-hour care for him. So when they were younger, and we lived in Massachusetts, Tony would leave, and it was myself. Again, like I told you, I only worked weekends. So my parents had the kids on the weekends, and I worked, or I was home Monday through Friday, and I worked the weekends. My parents had them. And then we moved here. We had Tony's mom, his sisters, and then eventually my parents moved here. Tony's mom unfortunately passed away. So that took a toll on things. But the girls, are older too, ended up obviously growing and are able to care for their brother in the best way because they know him best.
Mr.
Cruz.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, he's so fucking cute. Tony, I literally just took him the other day to his yearly. He's a fucking 5'1", 110 fucking pounds. It's insane. Like he's 12. He's 12. He's on the 70 something freaking percentile. Like
she said freaking, Tony. She said freaking. She didn't cut that time.
He is going to be a big boy. Like
yes,
a big boy.
Yes, ma'am.
But now here, the girls, Riley's now in Alabama, so we can't rely on her as much. Emma, we do.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Limit.
You're gonna say Roll Tide?
No. Don't
No.
you ever say that.
We're not gonna say Roll Tide.
No, we're not allowed to say that. But limit the children's names for me, okay?
Limit children's names. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So anyways, my kids help me the most with caring for him. I forgot where we're at. What was the question?
I was just saying how the difficult times when he had to go for 6-9 months for this 6-9 months for this training or this schooling,
which suck. Honestly, like he was in Texas for freaking forever. He was in Florida for freaking forever. And don't get me wrong, it's obviously a positive on moving forward with jobs and our future, but it was a lot for me, myself, being without him and having 3 children in the house and doing everything on my own. I had my mother-in-law until she passed away. I have my father-in-law still. I have my 2 sister-in-laws that are kind of hit or miss. My mother and father moved from Massachusetts to Virginia to help me. So yeah, it's a lot of family.
Hey, for y'all who just coming in, this is we were talking about women who make more money than men, and then we start talking about relationships. Hey, Breezy. Hey, man, we'll get to our sports section tomorrow. I'll invite this Bama fan back up here one more time.
Roll Tide.
It might be the last time she'd be up here. She's
I did want to say
again.
one thing though about. Oh, sorry.
No.
So, but anyways, the Heartbeat is they've been my friends for years. So me and Armando is just gonna pick their brain because we did discuss that for people who've been married for a long time, they've been through their ups and downs, they've been through their roller coasters in their relationship, and we want to, and for people who is just starting relationships, should pick the brains of people who've been married for 15 plus years. Because they know what they're talking about. Just like Armando said earlier, he's been married for 20 some odd years. And I know he's been through some things. And when it comes to
Go ahead, bro. 20 years?
I know, 20 years. That's awesome.
Oh,
We're
y'all
only
got-
at 17.
Y'all got 3 more years and y'all hit that 20-year mark.
Sorry.
Right?
I didn't know they could hear me through all
Maybe.
that.
Hey, your mic works for real, bro. Armando, same question to you. When your old lady was going through school, how was that a struggle? Let's and like Tony said, you got to talk. Let's talk about the negatives of it, because everybody talks about the positive. What was the negative effect when she was going to school to get to where she is now?
Well, the good thing about it is she wasn't across the country. She was right in Ohio. So I could just hit 75 north and go up there. Like I would go up there. I would try to get up there like every other week. And I would spend like 3 to 4 days up there with her at a time. We talked on the phone every day. We talked in between her class. We talked multiple times every day. So we handled it pretty well. By that time in my life, I had pretty much I was more disciplined. I didn't have all that wildness and playness in me. I was ready to settle down and be with a woman. So I had the discipline to handle a long distance relationship. And I knew it was temporary. It's different when you know it's temporary. When you know she's up there for school. She's up there for school and eventually she's going to be coming back to Georgia. So it's different when it's like that versus someone living in another state and you're trying to be.
Can I ask, did you have kids at the time?
In the beginning, no, but she had gotten pregnant while she was in school. She had came home from the holidays and she had got pregnant with my daughter.
One of them week visits.
Yeah. When she came home, she was here for like 3 weeks. Yeah.
Was it a mental for you as a man? Was it a mental strain on you? Knowing, I mean, even though she was in Ohio, that's a good 9-hour trip, and she's not home every night. Was that a mental strain on you at any point while she was up there, or was she going a couple of years, couple of months? I don't know that situation, but was it ever a mental strain on you, anything like that?
No, because I had kept myself busy. I worked, and like I said, we talked on the phone every day. I don't think it would be a problem with two people if they're communicating. If the lines of communication is always there and you're making the effort to go visit that person. Like she couldn't come down here, but I could go up there to her, because it would have been a hassle for her to come down here every other weekend while she was in school, so I went the extra step in to go up there and spend time with her up there.
Communication, yes. As a woman, coming from this woman, key. Communication.
Yes. The only time a long distance relationship becomes an issue is if someone is not answering their phone, or someone is not answering, not doing the video call, they change up their routine and quit communicating. Then seeds of doubt is planted in the other person's head that's trying to reach out.
Was there ever a time, and this question goes for both of you, was there ever a time where, like, your wife said, I can't talk right now, I got to study, and you didn't hear for a couple of hours, or, hey, I'm in drill right now, I got to get going? And did y'all kind of feel some type of way about that? And I asked this question because I've never been in this situation. Did you feel some? And I understand both of you are going to say no, because he was doing what he had to do. But everybody's human, and their brains do wonder: are they really doing this? Did y'all really have that feel, that situation, that feeling, any time about that? Starting with you, Armando.
No, never had that feeling.
Oh, hell no. I'm a fucking female. Of course I felt some fucking way. Of course I felt some way. Yes. When I try to call or message, it depends. So when he's in state or in CONUS, I expect a response. When he's out of CONUS, is that the word? CONUS. So I would have a little bit more lenience on that. But yes, of course, I'm looking for a response. Like, why didn't you respond to me? Why didn't you answer my message? Why haven't you called me? Like, I mean, but you have to remember that the most recent or deployment or whatever, I was pregnant with a child, obviously hormonal. Like, where are you? Why are you not responding to me? Like, what's going on? If you're not in like dire straits, like, you need to be responding to me.
Does anybody in the chat have a question for these two? Again, I know damn near everything about these two. And me and Armando spoke about a lot of things offline, so I know just about a lot about him too, of what he shared with me. So anybody got a question they want to ask? No stupid questions now, because you probably will get cussed out, and that's from my female sister-in-law. So
let me just piggyback off that question you asked a while ago.
Okay.
The thing about it is, she pretty much laid out her schedule to me. When she was going to the library, she would have, like, it was a study group at a certain time. We did a good job of communicating with each other and calling, like I knew when she was in class not to call her at certain times and bother her. And then, when she had downtime and she was able to talk, we talked, and we talked on the phone for hours. We spent a lot of time on the phone with each other. So therefore, it was never really any issue because we had a strong line of communication.
So besides communication, what kept you together for 20 years and what kept you together for 17 years? That goes to starting with you, Fauna, and Tony.
You want to start with me? You're crazy. Okay. And I hear laughter in the background. That's great. What? See, what's kept us together? I don't know.
What's the question again?
I don't know. What's the question?
What kept y'all together so long?
I said, besides the...
He's over here trying to find headphones to listen
Go
to
ahead. No, go ahead.
He
T.
said,
Answer,
"No,
answer the question.
because I can't hear him anymore. These headphones died." So
his
So I was
headphones
saying,
died and
besides
he's upset.
no, I
No,
can't
it's
hear.
okay.
So I'm relying on you to tell me what.
He's relying
the
on me to
question
tell
is.
him what the question is. Okay, so what's the question?
Okay.
Tony, tell me the
So
question.
the question is besides
Besides
communication,
communication,
what kept y'all together for 17 years? And
What's
I was
kept us
asking
together?
Mondo what kept them together for 20 years.
What's kept us together for
Especially
17 years?
through the it's in their talk. They're speaking specifically about the distance, right?
Yeah, is the
All
question
Specifically about the distance,
it-
or
yeah, that's my question. Is it most on the distance that we've had through deployments, through training, through whatever, or is it what's kept us together for our family?
yeah.
And I
Well,
think that it's kind of one and the same.
Well, no, I don't think it is because, and this is why I ask. It's a very important question
Because I feel like it's one and the
I
same.
no, I don't. I feel like at one point at the very
Can
beginning.
you hear him?
Yeah, he can hear.
Yeah.
me. At the very beginning of our relationship, we made an attempt. I think, maybe not spoken really until now, to have a family and have a relationship based on secularism, right? To be kind of separate and apart from God. It's not really something that we talked about a whole lot.
It isn't.
And
no.
and once we made a change, and we said, and it was really with the death of my mother and the inquiry of our daughter about what am I? Am I Catholic? How does this work? What is God? What are these things that? So it was like we tried to build this beautiful structure of a family on a foundation of sand, and it was not. I mean, I use that as the biblical reference, but we had the foundations. We knew what we were doing.
We knew
right?
that we were in love.
Right. Yes, and
Of course.
but we never acknowledged properly God in our lives, and all of those.
You're right.
And all of those structures that undergird a good living.
Yeah.
And we never, we tried to.
And
we,
I'm so
we literally
thankful
tried
that
to
we
pick,
were able to acknowledge that and know
Yeah.
that we were one in this, not one in the same, but
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
That
I
we
mean,
were on the same page with that.
Yes.
Right. But we for years we tried to see, and we did successfully up to a point, right? We were able to literally reap the fruits of the tree and eat from the fruits of the tree of God without paying him his proper due.
Yeah.
And that is incorrect.
Yeah.
That is not how things are supposed to go at all. And so our kids are like, hey man, you guys are doing great. You've been so successful. Tell me how. How can we give them that story without telling them about God, about being baptized, about going to church, about receiving your sacraments, about, staying faithful to the gospel, about, paying tribute and honor, to your family, to your mother, to your father, that filial piety that's absolutely
Did we lose you?
cornerstone of, I mean, how are you supposed to be a good person and do right by your parents if you don't respect them?
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And so but anyway, that's a small part of how, or that's the larger part of how I think we stay together is because we actually focused in on God and made together made that a part of our kids' lives. That's how we stayed together, I think, overall. Because even though we didn't acknowledge it, that was a center point of our life, is that children are sacred. Life is sacred. God is the one who says when life can be made and when life can be taken, which you ain't even telling the freaking abortion story yet.
Thanks.
Exactly. Which that's a big part of why we're together. That's a big part of why I stayed with you, is because you had faith in me and you had faith in our kid. And
Tony.
So we got to address that. Season 2, episode 1. Wow, cliffhanger. What?
Yeah, Tony, Tony, my other Tony, are you there?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like
here.
my other Tony. It
No,
doesn't
I'm
sound
just,
like you.
y'all two got me cracking up. I swear to God.
Okay, yeah,
Can
you're
y'all-
laughing.
can y'all
So,
hear me?
Tony, I'm gonna tell you, like, we're gonna get like legit right now. You cool?
Okay.
You
Cool
Yeah.
up.
You
No, I'm serious. So, Tony and I got pregnant with Emma, and
While I was
okay, can you stop?
Go ahead. Well, you gotta tell the whole
Okay, so
Can't be living
I
off
was
tidbits.
still technically married, and Tony was still technically married, and we got pregnant with Emma. And I was given horrible advice to go to a clinic and have Emma aborted. And
So as you can see,
oh,
not living our best Catholic lives,
no,
not living our best Christian lives,
no.
trying to separate
Do
ourselves
you know
off.
that we're on his fucking stream?
Stop swearing.
And you're giving our lives on this.
I'm cool.
Tony,
I'm fine with that. This is my life. I am.
but
If I'm ready to own up to God about
Tony,
my life, I don't care what
I
anybody
get it,
thinks.
But this is Tony's podcast, or Tony's.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, did he say not share that?
No, we're not talking to him
Oh, okay.
one-on-one. We're on his freaking thing.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Good.
Tony, call us later. How about that?
No. Okay. Well, how about we switch the subject and
Yes, please. Let's
switch
do
the
that.
Because the main question was
You want me?
Yes!
You want me to answer my part?
Yes!
Yes, sir.
Ask me that.
Somebody else freaking
I'll
talk.
go. I'll go first, man. Ask me.
Thank you.
Ask me the question over again, man.
Yes, sir. Besides communication, what kept you and your wife together for 20 plus years?
Okay. Man, when me and her met, it's a crazy story, man. I had got a job at a collection agency, and she was already working there. She was one of the top collectors there. So when I was in training, she helped train me on the floor. When I went out to the floor, and before they gave me a desk, I had to sit with her, and she trained me how to make calls and how to skip trace and everything. So we started going to lunch together and just started, being cool and friendly with each other. And we both lived in Riverdale, so we would carpool together. I would ride with her. Sometimes she would ride with me. We were friends. We started off as friends. This was back like in '96. And then we started off as real good friends. Then we got real tight. We became like best friends. We would go to Braves games together, Hawks games together. When they would have the Monday Night Nitro every Monday night down at the Omni, we would go to the wrestling match. She was a huge wrestling fan. I'm a huge wrestling fan. We just had a lot in common. So we started off like being real good friends. She was dating somebody else and I was dating somebody else. And then eventually, we just started being attracted to one another. And then we started it became intimate, but we were still friends. We didn't make it official. We didn't really make it official. We didn't start officially dating until like April of 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. And ever since then, it's like we've been like monogamous with each other. So I tell people, that's why I tell people it's very important that you start off as friends, get to know one another instead of rushing into something. You become friends first, then you become lovers. Because once you become friends and then you get into a relationship, you already know a lot about the other. It just works better. Because you understand and know a lot about each other.
So through friendship, that was the strongest part. And I know both of y'all just like Tony and Fana, y'all they go y'all we all go to church. We base our relationship on church, on God, not the church, but on God, being a part of something that's bigger than us. Being friends that help with your communication skills, that help you sharing your feelings, being able to trust each other. Because most people will say trust is the second best thing to communication. Is that all wrapping
I think
together?
they absolutely go hand in hand. Trust and communication, huge.
Yeah, you can't really have one without the other.
Got you.
Because how can you communicate with someone you don't trust? You okay? So with your okay, if you don't trust that person, then you don't believe that person. So that person, everything that person is saying to you is going to one ear, not the other. It's not resonating.
And you're not friends when if you don't trust each other. I mean, you can't even trust a friend, if they constantly lie to you. So they're really not your friend. Hey, everybody in the chat, this has been a blessing. Got to talk to two strong relationships, people out here. Of course, I've known, I've known Tony and Fana, the heartbeats for so long, and I pay attention to them. They are, when they say they're about God first in their family, they are truly about God first in their family, and then it comes to their children, and they're all about their children. And then they have, they do have difficult times with one of them because he's special needs, but he is very much taken care of, and they have the community. And I believe talking to Armando, they have the community also that with their children. We're gonna talk about this. You messing up your wife schooling by doing what you did to her, Armando. We're gonna talk about that in another segment. But this has been great, y'all. And this is how it turns.
Thank you for adding me, Tony. I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, it's been great. I'm not done with you yet. I know it's getting to 11 o'clock. Or what is 5 minutes after.
I'm up. I'm a night worker. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that game last night.
Well, we won't have to talk about that game. If y'all want, we can switch channels real quick. Let's do this. Let's take a quick few minutes break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the game. Is that cool with both of y'all?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm ready to have that conversation.
We're talking about our game, like my game.
The game last night.
Hey, y'all, we be right back.
Are we talking about roll time?
Roll dogs.
Absolutely, I'm here.
All right, welcome back. Hey, I have the famous Mr. Armando Black You better hold on. Who she sound like? Who she sound like, Amanda?
Say what now?
I said, who she sound like? Sometimes. Sister, you knew.
A younger version.
Yes, sir. And you knew if you on here, hey, my bad. But you got a twin out there too. It's right here. And then our special guest, Miss Heartbeat.
What? Oh,
Now,
I like it. It's Mrs. Heartbeat. They're laughing at me.
Oh man. So we're going to switch this up, y'all, because we go ahead and get it out the way. I was asking for 24 hours. I guess I got my 24 hours.
How do you turn it
Alabama versus Georgia last night.
Roll Tide.
If you say Roll Tide one more time while I'm speaking, the game started off horrible for us dogs. You blinked twice, it was 28-3. Let's start with, go ahead and tell us how you feel about that game, Miss Heartbeat.
I'm so happy. I don't know what to say other than that. I wish I was there. I'm living vicariously through my daughter who was there, living her freaking best life. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, so Roll Tide, that's all I've got to say. No, our first half was fucking amazing. And then stop telling me to fucking stop swearing. Anyways, so our first half was freaking amazing. And then second half, y'all came back. You were doing your thing, which is great. You're supposed to do that. But you just have to remember that the last touchdown was from a 17-year-old. And you have to remember that interception in the end zone was from a fucking freshman. So that's all I got to say about that. What do you have to say? Tell me what you have to say about that. Tell me what you have to say about that.
Okay, let me retort
Y'all
on
love
that.
me, right?
Let me retort on that. Okay, let me retort on that. First of all,
and no row is just no joke.
First of all.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. We played, and I've been a UGA fan all my life. And I've watched us take some beatdowns. I watched us take some beatdowns. That first half was the worst, most pathetic first half of any. And I'm going all the way back to Vince Dooley. That was the worst first half I've ever seen any Georgia team have in the history of my football, college football watching years of my life. I've never seen, Carson Beck, that was the worst game of his college career. That was one of the, it was just terrible. That first half, everything that could have went wrong. 3 interceptions.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Fumble. Hold up. Y'all beat us down in that first half. But even with all of that, y'all played y'all best game last night. You can play 100 times, and Jalen Miro will never have another night like he had last night. He played out of his mind last night. He was in a zone. He was in a zone.
As he should be.
He's never played that good in his life. Never. Okay. Now, with that being said, y'all played y'all best game of the season. We played our worst game of the season. And at the end of the day, it still took a lucky fluke pass touchdown
Luke, really?
Yes, it did. Because y'all had a 33-7 lead. You see, even though y'all won the game, you can't brush up on the rug. 30-45. 30-45, meaning that we 5. After y'all scored the last time, after y'all kicked that last field goal, we outscored y'all 30-45. And that right there, even though you won the game, but moving forward, and y'all ranked number 1. Congratulations. AP got y'all number 1 right now.
Blank.
But that's only temporary. Because, and this is the bad news, Carson Beck did something on y'all that he ain't never did in his college career. Even though he had a terrible game, he was getting sacked and throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball and got a safety. He hung over 400 yards of passing on your secondary. And that was Carson Beck. What do you think Nico is going to do? Nico from Tennessee. What do you think that kid from Missouri is going to do? Cook and Luther Burden is going to do? Because we don't have a Luther Burden on our team. We don't have a Nico. See, those dudes are elite. They on another level. We got mediocre to good wide receivers. Tennessee has elite
We have
wide
a
receivers.
17-year-old. Please tell me what it is that you think. 17 years old.
He's elite. We got some 17-year-olds on our team too. He's elite.
Please.
He's gifted and elite. Let me tell you something. He's like LeBron. When LeBron came straight out of high school and went straight into the NBA. You got some kids that are gifted like that. He's gifted.
He's gifted and then some.
Yeah,
he's on a whole nother fucking level. Did you see that last touchdown? Did you see that last touchdown?
It was a fluke. Number 1.
No,
number 2.
My ass.
Number 2. Hold up. Number
Apparently
2. He did that on our backup cornerback. That was not our regular starting cornerback. Our regular starting cornerback. Hold up. Our regular starting cornerback, Chris Harris.
No.
No.
That was
he was benched. No, hold up. He did that on the backup.
Motherfucker was dancing. He was dancing in front of y'all. Dancing.
He didn't do that. He didn't. But hold up though. Hold up. Why he didn't? Okay, so that was a fluke play. That was a fluke play. That was a fluke play. It shouldn't even. But my point is, it shouldn't even have came down to that. Y'all were leading. Y'all were up 33-7. Y'all were up 33-7. Y'all should have put us away.
We should have. I agree. I agree.
Y'all choked away.
George is
y'all turned into the Falcons.
Y'all are
y'all
good
turned into the Falcons.
team. You're a good team.
Nobody's saying George.
Excuse me, real quick. Hey, listen, I'm gonna play.
Hey,
Fauna.
I'm here.
Your big brother is talking.
Okay, I'm listening.
Listen, one at a time. We try to teach one how to do one at a time, so we don't need two.
No, I hear you.
But yes, so hey, one at a time. Go ahead. Now you Negroes don't want to talk.
Who's muting
It's
you?
her turn. It's her turn.
It's my turn.
Yeah, I want to know how did y'all blow a 33-7 lead?
No,
that's what I want to know.
Y'all came in second half
dominating.
Yes, dominating. Like y'all, you did what your job. Like that.
Okay.
That's fucking great. I'm not saying you didn't. You went in, had your halftime fucking report, made adjustments, and you did what you were supposed to fucking do. And that's great.
And that was Mike Bobo, Carson Beck, and a couple of mediocre wide receivers. Now, what do you think is going to happen in a couple of weeks in Knoxville? When you're going up against Josh Heupel and those fleet of elite wide receivers that Tennessee has, and
We're
an
going to be
elite
playing
quarterback
Alabama football.
that's on the same level as Nico is on the same level as Miro. What are you going to do then? Because that secondary looked like that, and that was Carson Beck. What do you think Nico is going to do to that secondary?
All I know is we're going to play Alabama football.
Now, Armando, we have conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had heated conversations, and we're both dog fans. And
I
we
know
see-
what you're getting ready to ask me.
So, do you retract your statement that Carson Beck cannot throw the long ball?
I owe you an apology, and I want to give you a public apology right now, in front of your family and in front of your people in the chat. And I'm glad you went live. I was going to do this Saturday morning, but I'm gonna do it right here tonight. I'm gonna give you a public apology. I apologize to you, and I apologize to Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart last night in that second half, even in defeat, he became elite. He's elite. That's what he did. Whatever he said at halftime, only an elite coach could pull that off. Even though we lost by a fluke, lucky play. Congratulations to Bama. You got lucky.
No, y'all.
Sometimes
y'all
it's better
came,
to be lucky than good.
No, y'all came in second half. No joke.
How much did you drink last night, Fauna? In the
A
second half?
lot. A fucking lot.
Let me answer your question. When we scored that touchdown and went ahead.
I wanted to lose my fucking mind.
Okay. All right. So
How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
So hey.
But
like
when
I
our
said,
17-year-old scored that touchdown,
Hey, listen.
hell
see,
yeah!
they want to hang
When
their head on.
when our
They-
freshman took that fucking interception,
No,
hell
no.
yeah!
Now let's talk about that
You want truth
interception.
here? How about
You
this
mean
for truth? How about this?
You're breaking this
I
down,
think-
brother.
When they scored that touchdown,
Yeah.
and
Which
it
one?
was
last one?
yeah, when they were one score from winning the game,
Mhm.
Fauna left the bedroom we
To
were watching
pray.
the game
To
in
pray.
to come in here to pray
I did.
for the Alabama
I did.
for the Alabama tie.
I did.
She was praying, and then I was like, "Oh, he caught the ball! He caught the ball!" I'm yelling and screaming. She comes in. I was praying. I was like, "Girl, you're supposed to keep your prayer centered on God, not Alabama football. You're doing it wrong."
So this is my analogy. Something that I saw last night in Georgia that I've never seen them do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And something that really, and this made me mad. And this had we had talked about this before. This is one of Armando's points when we said what does Georgia need to do to win this game? We didn't tackle for shit.
You're right.
And I'm not taking away from any from the win from Alabama. But if I have to speak one negative point about the team that I've been watching since a long time, we did not tackle for nothing, and especially in the first half.
Yeah.
We were getting gas for no reason. The 17-year-old Williams,
Hollywood.
that one. But listen, I know what he's talking about was when the ball was tipped up, kicked, spin around, pirouette, cartwheel, back flip, double, and he caught the ball. that
That's
was
what I'm
just,
saying. Like,
hey,
I don't think there was anything y'all could do. Like that boy, he's like no other. I'm not gonna say this because I'm an Alabama fucking fan because my daughter goes there. What I'm saying is like he gave it 110%. Like there was no I didn't miss or I missed that. You know, it is what it is. Like he was juggling that shit. Like he 110 per fucking cent giving it his all. And
yeah,
that's
but
what makes an amazing player, whether he's an Alabama player or he's any other freaking player, whether it's SEC or any other college ball. Like he gave it his all.
yeah, you know, and that takes, and that reminds me, that play in
That
particular
juggling
reminds
catch,
me of
you
the.
gotta admit that's lucky. That was lucky.
But
That was
hey,
lucky.
listen.
You think it was luck?
Do you say,
I don't know.
Armando,
I
that
don't
the
know if it was luck.
do you say that same catch that was done by Brock Bowers last year against Florida on the sideline that he ran for a touchdown?
The
Like
year
you
before
gotta
that,
give
that
it your
was luck.
all.
Now, I will admit that catch, that
Really?
touchdown catch that Brock Bowers made against Florida 2 years ago. That was 2
2
years
years
ago
ago.
when we went back to back. When we
Yeah.
went back to back, when he called it off the Florida player's back and it juggled in his hand. See, stuff like that is luck. That's luck. That's not skill.
And
That can,
yeah.
if Milroe was to throw that, kid that same pass 100 times, he would maybe only catch it maybe 2 times. 2 times out of 100. That's luck. That's not, something that you can do every Saturday.
Let me ask you this, Armando, or being do you think, and then I'm gonna ask this to Tony and Fauna, if Tony's still
It's
awake.
just me.
Okay, he went to bed already.
He left.
Do you
He in the
think?
chat. He in the
Well,
chat.
he left the media room, so I don't know.
Okay, he's a chat. Do you think that if this game was played in Athens, would it have been a different would have had an outcome? And the only reason why I asked this question is I don't remember the last time Alabama played in Athens.
The washout game.
Okay.
Was the washout a game in Athens?
No, back it up. Okay, so Texas, who is just now an SEC team,
You watched Sports Center this morning.
No, shut the fuck up, Tony. I'm gonna slap you. No, beat Alabama at home last year. They weren't even an SEC team last year. It's just now that they are, and they beat us at home like that. Like, whoa, fucking whoa. But
y'all a different team.
Like,
y'all a different team this year.
So we were going through some things. We didn't have a quarterback. We were, jumbling what the fuck we were gonna do after Saban, and Milroe, or obviously Milroe is our quarterback. Well, he's our quarterback now, but we didn't know he was gonna be our quarterback then, and we were just going through a lot for our first few games. So which is frustrating because Tony has a bunch of Texas fucking fans, which Texas beat us at home, which is not something we want to fucking relive or acknowledge. But which is so frustrating because he's got these fucking friends from fucking Texas, and they're like, oh yeah, we're fucking amazing. I'm like, dude, this is your fucking first year in SEC, and what teams are you actually playing? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, go sit somewhere. That's just my opinion, but it is what it is.
They need to be careful with Oklahoma.
He's listening to me.
Well,
they need to be careful with Oklahoma.
So,
though, for
I do
real.
have a lot of Texas. I do have a lot of friends who like Texas, and I just wanted to interject and say that they did beat Alabama when Alabama was struggling with their identity, right? Who their quarterback was.
Just
who it
after
wasn't.
Saban, and we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
trying to figure out who our
Not
quarterback
to
was
make
going
any
to be.
excuses or anything, but
Yeah.
Wait.
I do
wait.
have a lot
They-
of Texas friends who, I mean, they make me eat shit constantly about, 32, 22, sound familiar?
Oh,
And
shut
it's like,
up.
that was before
Get
we got
outta
in the
here.
SEC, and like, I get that, but
Whatever.
yeah,
But
it's still.
they had Saban at the
like Armando
time.
was saying, it's a different team now.
Yeah, we had Saban.
No, you had Saban at the time. It's just that I don't think when y'all played Texas that year, last year at
Mhm.
Texas,
Mhm.
what that was like the second game of the season, right?
They-
Amanda?
They
And
fucking
also-
beat us at home, Tony.
No, I think it was at Texas.
No, they beat us at home. My daughter was there. They
Oh, okay.
beat us at home.
Tony, Texas went to Brian Denny and beat them last
Yes.
year. You're thinking about they played a home and home. They played in 2022 in Austin. Texas should have won that game, but Ewers got hurt. Ewers
That
got
is-
hurt early in the third quarter, and they lost that game when Bryce Young led them on a winning drive.
Mm.
And then last year, Texas beat them last year. But I'm gonna tell you something about Texas. Texas had a better team last year, in my opinion, than
Mhm.
they do this year.
They're playing
And
some
they-
fucking shit teams this
yeah,
year.
they
and they're like,
doing this.
"Oh, we're fucking amazing." I'm like, "You're
Fana,
playing
yeah,
shitty
Michigan-
teams."
Fana. Hold on,
Sorry,
baby.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Michigan is not that team. USC is not either. USC
Exactly.
almost
Exactly.
almost lost to Wisconsin.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So-
Exactly.
Texas better watch out for Oklahoma. I think they're gonna get a scare by Oklahoma, but they're gonna get exposed. We come to Austin. We ain't
Their
playing no games.
first season
We ain't playing
in
no
the
games in
SEC,
Austin.
they're playing weak teams. Weak teams.
Yeah.
Armando, I wonder how this conversation would go if you knew was up here. I don't think me and you'd be able to talk. Oh man. So as I was what I said before, I was upset, and everything that we talked about on Sunday, that I argued about on Sunday, it slapped me in the face the first half. And I sat there and I was like, well, damn, maybe Armando is right. Maybe he can't throw the deep ball. Maybe these fools can't catch. Maybe these fools can't run. But like you said, I don't know. And then I thought on my way
Tony,
home.
you have a great team. No, that's not the
No,
case.
but,
No,
You have a-
I will.
but as I was saying though, I knew from experience of watching the team, and Armando does too. When they go in that locker room, Kirby's gonna say something like the fire in the ass. Kirby's gonna say something to make them to not give up, because
Absolutely.
and they came out, and then the first series of the third quarter, I was like, oh, here we go. This about to be. I'm just gonna turn the game. Then they scored, and then they scored again, and then and then they just start rolling. They start connecting, and oh damn, I'm in trouble.
Hell no.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Hey, look, you news my manager on this page, and she can just pop up whenever she wants to, like she just did. I was not expecting her to pop up just quick. Oh, so hey, welcome to the panel, you do. Meet my.
You sound a little nervous. You sound a little nervous.
Meet my sister-in-law, my brother, Tony and Fana, the heartbeat.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
How are you?
I'm well,
Hey,
thank
and-
you.
Great.
You do have
you
the.
sound a little nervous. You sound a little nervous.
Hey,
What's
look.
really
Hey,
going on
listen.
here?
Hey, Fana,
I'm not nervous
you
at
knew-
all.
No,
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 she's
no, no,
talking
no,
about me.
no. Yeah, him. because he's talking a little mess while I was in the chat. But now I'm up here, so I'm a little nervous.
Hey, find it. You knew got a little bit of Tourette's. You'll find out in a minute.
Hell no. Hell no.
Hey, look, and then we were texting back and forward. Well, y'all was texting, and y'all had the live at 9:00, and I didn't get up on there because I was highly pissed about the first half. And you knew, as always, the positive person that she is. Just keep giving them. Hey, just keep having faith. Keep giving. They're gonna come out rolling next half. And Lord and behold, third
As soon
quarter
as we ended the live, that's when the comeback began.
Yep.
Are we talking
So we
about the
do
end of the
thank you for
game?
that. So
I'm
what?
so confused.
No. He's talking about the second half of the game when they really went in on y'all team over there in Alabama. They wore your
Absolutely.
out,
Roll
and then bam,
roll.
that doggone number 2. I swear to goodness, if I could choke him through that TV, because that's the one that did it.
Girl, number 2 on offense, number 2 on freaking defense.
Oh,
What?
That
He's
that
hard.
interception.
We are catching touchdowns. We are
That
catching
interception.
interceptions.
That's
We
it.
are
Look.
on point.
Let me tell you something about that interception. He may as well have been playing catch with Carson Beck, because Carson Beck threw the ball right to him on that last play. That
told
he
you.
didn't do nothing special. Carson Beck underthrew Kobe Young, and the ball went right to that number 2.
I'm
That
telling
kid
you.
from Bama.
Hey, let me throw this in there.
You need to
Went
get
right
his
to him.
vision
He threw the
checked
ball
out.
right to him. He didn't do nothing
They need to
special.
check his vision. Homeboy was throwing the ball straight to
He threw the
to
ball
defense.
right to that man. He threw the
Right
ball
to
right
him.
to that man. He turned back into the Carson Beck in the first half on that one play. I
Hey.
said, I be damn. He did all of this just to
Mhm.
I be damn.
But I'm going to tell you this. There, Bama fan. If you watch the game closely, that number, or I don't know his last
I'm
name.
listening.
Whoever got the interception at the end, he was getting his butt handed to him all game.
He was getting cooked out.
He
They're
was
gonna
getting
find
his-
out when they play Tennessee in 2 weeks.
He was getting his butt handed to him all game.
Okay, you understand that.
But here's the thing.
Brew McCoy gonna toast the hell out of his ass. Watch, see,
Right.
you're gonna be complaining about him in 2 weeks.
Freshman.
It doesn't matter.
You
Freshman.
gonna be want him bench.
Freshman. That's all I
What's
have
your
to
name
say.
now? What's her name now, Tony?
Freshman.
What's your
Fauna.
friend name now? Fauna.
Yes, that's my
Fauna.
name. Yes.
You're gonna be asking Caleb DeBoer to bench his
Caleb
ass in
DeBoer.
2 weeks, because I'm telling you, Brew McCoy is gonna cook him. He's gonna cook him.
If somebody hits that man hard enough, he gonna break. He's so small and linky. Oh my God! I thought somebody was gonna break him.
I tell
is
you what, I
linky.
guarantee you, if
But he's fast.
we see y'all again, I promise you,
That
he
will
ain't
win
gonna
the
beat us.
natty.
Somebody else gonna beat us. Somebody else gonna have to beat us.
That's what you're gonna promise me? That we're winning the natty?
Kirby gonna put some defense on him. Kirby gonna put somebody on him, on that number 2. We gonna hit him. We gonna hit his little ass. We gonna hit him and make sure
he's
he ain't gonna be the
fast.
same. We
He's
ain't gonna.
fast, though.
Even if we have to take a personal foul or unnecessary roughness, we gonna make him feel in the first quarter. I'm telling you, Kirby gonna do to him what he did to that boy from Auburn. When you ain't beating us twice. They ain't
I'm going to.
We know that playbook now.
I'm going to go out and say this, and this is for everybody. And I know on Saturday morning we're going to probably have an intense conversation about it. But this is after every loss that we've
30-45.
We have come back. Yes.
Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Sorry.
Talk about me with Tourette.
30-45 is real. I'm trying to tell you now.
Hey,
Y'all
we're
became the Falcons for that second half. I'm telling you.
I'm going to put it out there like this, and this is history. George, after one loss, that really wakes up the Georgia Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened to us. And Amanda, you'll probably come out with the year when I say this. We had one loss, and we SEC championship, and we still got the
2020. Exactly. We
and
seen this movie before,
we've
and that
seen it
was a
before.
worse beatdown. That was a blowout. Bama blew us out that night. We came back what 3 weeks later and
Yeah.
beat the brakes off of them in Indy. Man,
Like I said.
they scored one touchdown, and in the rest of the night they were kicking field goals. We beat
Like
the brakes
I
off.
said, history repeats itself.
I'm trying to tell you, we want y'all. We hope. I hope and pray that Tennessee. I don't think y'all gonna beat Tennessee, but I hope y'all win the rest of your games, and we get y'all in Atlanta or somewhere in the playoffs.
It's gonna come back to it, but hey, every time that we lose, we come back. And I'm going to, and on Saturday, you're going to hear me say it tonight. You're going to hear me say it on Saturday. I feel for Auburn. I feel for Auburn because that's going to put a nasty taste in our mouth. And we're going to, and if we come back, this is my key for winning. And I'm going to say it again on Saturday. Here's my key for winning. Don't slow Carson Beck down. Do not slow Carson Beck down. As we have found out in recent games, if you keep him on the tempo offense, give him 2 plays and let him decide what he's going to do. Let him go tempo from the start of the game into the end of the game, or unless you're going to run out the clock because you're beating them so bad. I have figured out with Carson Beck that he does not like to get in the huddle. He does not like to slow down. He is more effective if you are just sending him, line him up, let him call the play or give him the play. Now you could do it in his head, in the helmet, give him the play, let him dictate what he wants to do.
Okay, so I have a question. Sniper.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you think Carson Beck, okay, that's the quarterback, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he or does he not need to get his eyes checked? I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
You asked me that question
Yes.
on the show, and
Yes.
I said I was thinking. Yes, I never really got a chance to answer that question. But after we ended that live, and I saw what he did in that second half, and he was completing passes 80 yards down the field. Oh, ain't that wrong with his eyes?
Ain't nothing wrong with his eyes, but he's throwing it to the wrong damn side of the day.
Hold on, real quick. let's talk about it real quick.
I know what's wrong with him.
The first interception. Okay. So here's the deal.
Colorblind.
I don't know, and I couldn't figure it out at all. And Fana might be able to answer this question for me. Maybe her daughter said what the weather was like, but it looked like it was misting the whole time.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so I take that off the plate. I couldn't tell. Maybe my contacts was jacked up last night. But here's the deal. First of all, I don't think that him and the receivers are still have yet to gel. Because the first interception, he threw the ball one way, the receiver, and I want to say it was
Arian Smith, and that was Arian Smith's fault.
He went the other direction.
Yeah, he ran the wrong route. That was Arian Smith's fault. A lot of the stuff was self-inflicted. A lot of the turnovers were self-inflicted. That's why I was saying as bad, as terrible as Carson Beck played, the fact that it still took a lucky fluke play to beat us. That should make Bama fans think that,
if it wasn't for that interception, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, and then the Arian Smith drop, man, we really actually should have scored like 50 some points in that game.
Yeah.
We
Right,
did a
but
lot of, we self-inflicted a lot of things that happened to us. We caused that on our own.
Right.
made
And
some
then
dumb
when he
plays.
made when that guy made that touchdown, I forgot his doggone name, number, and everything. I'm sorry. But he
Williams.
made a touchdown, and the doggone offense went and made a boo-boo, and they flagged them. If they didn't do that, they would have had a doggone, they would have had 7 points right there over them.
Yeah. And here's the deal.
Mhm.
And this is, and the one thing I am going to say, and I heard what you said. I don't know, it was last night. It was probably last night. I'm gonna go back to play calling real quick. And only negative thing I got about the play calling was the first couple of series was nothing but passes.
Mhm.
I like that.
And yes and no. And I agree with you and I don't agree with you. Because again, ETN was getting yards.
He
when
was
you
all
handed the
right,
ball.
man. He only had
It-
like 50 some
But-
yards last night. He wasn't DeAndre. He wasn't put up no DeAndre Swift like numbers.
But I
Nick
was
Chubb in the Rose Bowl and nothing like that, bro.
But here's what I got to say to that. It would have been easier for 3rd and 2 or second and 4. We in my D Troop voice, you got to run the ball. We stopped doing what we were doing, and we didn't use. I mean, where's Nate Robinson? He's not hurt. Where's Benson? He came in for a couple. You start putting Cash Jones out there.
Cash Jones was getting it now.
But
Cash
he was
Jones doing his thing
getting it.
now.
He was, and he was catching the ball out the backfield. I understand that, but it's looked like we went past happy to try to keep up with Alabama instead of doing what we were doing and getting those yardage until and letting the game flow the way that we like to flow. And that's just my opinion.
Can I tell you why? Because the thing about Bama this year and last year, okay, the last 2 years, their pass rush is not all of that. They don't have a good pass rush. That's another thing that Tennessee is going to expose on them in 2 weeks. They don't have a pass rush worth a damn, all right? But they have a damn good run defense. It's hard to run on them. It's hard. It is hard to run on them. But that secondary, you can light their ass up all day long, bro. I'm telling you. And that is why I said they came out and they ran the blueprint that I gave them. The problem was Sniper. And I want to say that I owe Mike Bobo a huge apology. Mike Bobo called a masterful game Saturday night.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
It was the execution. The thing is, Sniper, and I think they will get better because they gain confidence in that second half. The second half is the best thing that could have ever happened to Mike Bobo's coaching career. Because now you're going to have Arian Smith, Dylan Bell, and especially Kobe Young. They are going to hit that film room and they are going to elevate their game because they know they saw the potential Saturday night. Now they have the confidence. Now Mike Bobo has the confidence, and you're finna see some air raid type of shit from Georgia.
Hey T, I just wanted to say, Fauna, she had to go to the restroom and then downstairs. So we swapped real quick, just quick hot swap. But I heard everything that y'all was, you were saying before. And I agree with Armando with your assessment, what you were saying about to a certain extent with number one, Georgia dealing with a lot of self-inflicted wounds, right? With their penalties and a lot of which unexpectedly a lot of
poor tackling.
Offensive pass interference, bro. Y'all ain't even talk about that. Offensive pass interference. They had about 4, 5, 6 offensive pass interference. Like, for real? Offensive pass interference. That's what we're doing to ourselves to abandon our game. Or I'm sorry, to destroy our own game. And then you got another thing that they were doing wrong was, like Tony was just saying, was they completely. What is Georgia known for? Y'all ground and pound. You run the football. There was none of that.
Man, but I mean,
there was none of that.
It's
None
hard.
of
It's hard
now what you were saying is
they're
partially
stacking
true.
seven
Right.
and 8
What you were
guys
saying
up
was
in there,
partially
man. You
true.
running in a
Is
brick
that
wall.
Alabama got that? Alabama got that. Boom. They got that wall, right? But you also you smoking a little cope, a little bit of cope. Alabama can still run the football. And there were some things that Alabama was doing on the defensive side of the ball. Let's be real. There were turnovers left and right. There were, 3 turnovers in that first round? Don't make it seem like that was all, Beck with his eyesight, because I could tell you right now that you're absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with his eyesight. I'm looking at a still photo right here with 2 minutes 39 seconds in the fourth quarter where he threw a freaking a pass to Hill for 86 for a touchdown, and he still underthrew that. He put it on his left shoulder. He should have put it on his right. He would have helped the man just run straight into the end zone, and that happened 5-6 times in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not what happened there. That's Hill's. That, you know what that is? With Tony, you've been a quarterback before. You tell me in high school what that means when you throw him behind my left shoulder, and it should have been on my right because I'm running on the left side of the field and on a slant to the right. That's your timing as a quarterback. That means you don't have enough reps with either a receiver or you just reading shit wrong. You stuttering or hesitating. That's when you're not leading your shot enough. That's a Beck problem. That's not an eyesight problem.
But I also think that Bama did a very good job of disguising their defense.
This particular play, go back and look at it. 2 minutes and 39 seconds in the fourth quarter.
I know what he's talking about.
Hill. That man has all the coverage in the world. He got number 73 pushing 20 off him. That man he's at the back of the pocket. He is launching a bomb, and he still throws it off.
I know what he's talking about.
Problem.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about, Sniper. Remember that pass? Like when they first after Williams had scored that touchdown, and I think it was like it was after they got that first down. Okay, Beck went back and threw a long pass to Dylan Bell. It was right in his. It was on the wrong shoulder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tony, though, Dylan Bell, you played football now, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Remember when the coaches used to say, if the ball hits your hands.
Yes, sir. No. Listen, I'm in 100%, right? Hey, it's a give. It's a 50-50, right? I love you. You love me. You show me the ball, I'll catch it. That's our relationship. I get that. But you got to admit that man came up short on his end of the promise. I'm going to still try to make mine. Right, I'm gonna still try to make mine to the promise. As a matter of fact, now you're my teammate. I gotta make up for you. So I gotta stop my route. I gotta change my footing. I gotta shift my balance. I gotta turn around. I gotta change what I'm focusing on. Right, because if I'm in full stride, because I was a receiver, if I'm full stride, I'm not looking at. I beat my man. I did my job. He's gone. I'm looking at the football and I'm looking downfield.
He had him beat. He had him beat, man. If he would have put it over his right shoulder, he could have walked right into the damn end zone, and the game would have been over.
But now my man's got to do extra work. Now he got to turn around. He got to shift his weight. He change his footing, change his balance. He got to start looking at multiple different things. Now he's wasting brain power. He got to process different shit. Am I getting hit from this side? And then he got to worry about what's his exit strategy after you do catch the ball. That's the problem. When you don't have a Tom Brady who's putting fucking bullets on frozen ropes into your hands on your route, you gotta use brain power and get out the situation. That's a problem for a receiver. Receivers don't think; they run, catch, and go.
That's why I miss.
They run, catch, and go. The quarterback's supposed to think. That's his job.
That's why I miss Stetson Bennett, because Stetson Bennett could. I'm telling you, man, Stetson Bennett was a master at throwing them deep balls, bro.
I agree, and that's why I was saying, with all of what you said about Bama, while all of what you said about Bama is true, don't go smoking some coke thinking that Alabama don't have that Georgia don't have problems that they got to figure out on the offense.
Oh yeah, yes.
Because
They
even though that they pulled it together. Listen, Alabama knew when they like you said, they got grabbed by their collar, pat in the ass, get in there for the second half. They went back and you're right. They talked to coach, and coach is like, hey, Kirby's like, this is what's up. You better get your shit together. This is we might as well leave now. And they thought about it. And they played that second half the way they should. They did their job. And what happened to Alabama? They got complacent. Alabama was like, we already put a whooping on them. And by the way, and we're tired. We just put 169 yards like on the, you know what I'm saying? In the air alone, in the air, hit them with 4 touchdowns. Like, we straight. They got complacent and they were tired. And that was their problem. And Georgia came back and they were like, yo, we're not going to reciprocate that. We're not going to get complacent. We're going to get down in the mud. And they did. And they returned to the run game partially, and it worked. But what was really working was the pass game. But what's interesting is once you got past I would say 20, 30 yards, he was in the flat. He was good. He was throwing them he was hitting them right in the bread basket, hitting them in the guts. They were getting, they get tackled. But once he moved past 30-yard passes, that man was behind every receiver he threw to. That's what quarterback coaches need to be working on, in my opinion, with Beck.
Yeah. And that goes back to what I was saying. That goes back to what I was saying, Sniper. If he does not get that deep ball, now, do you know how many scouts were there Saturday night, man? Do you know how many scouts were there last night? NFL
All
scouts.
of them.
I'm telling you, bro, even though he put up 400 yards, and he had, passing yards, he had a career high passing yards, bro. But he had his accuracy down the field was exposed, bro. And if he don't get that right, he gonna drop. His draft stock will drop. Bro.
But back to something that you said before, though, Armando, which was what? Beck had the best game of his career, bro. The best game of his career. Why is that?
I don't
What game did he have better than that?
I think that Tennessee game last year, man. He was.
Go back and look at the stats and compare them. I'd be interested to see, because I truly don't know.
No, I
truly don't know. I'm really interested to see, because I'll tell you right now, that's what I love about these two teams. They bring out the best in each other. They truly do.
Why? You know why?
But that's why I got a problem with you calling it a fluke play. I really do. No, truly. Because is it a fluke play, or is it a motherfucker just making a play because he got to?
You got to admit, man, that juggle play, man.
Watch your mouth.
That juggle play.
You're right.
See, you don't see Randy Moss. You didn't never see Randy Moss doing it all the time.
Did you see Super Bowl 51? Did you? The Patriots versus Falcons.
Yeah, I saw that.
The one that you referenced earlier in the game, right? So, and you saw the Julian Edelman play, right?
Yeah.
Would you call that a fluke play?
Hell yeah, that was a fluke.
And Julian Edelman was asked this 70-30, right? He said he called it 70-30. He was like, how much of that was luck? How much of it was skill? He said 70% was luck, 30% was skill. He was asked that on the Jimmy Fallon show after that.
Oh,
right. But that's completely different than a fluke, because a fluke would mean he had no say in it whatsoever. He still had 30% saying that, and that say was good enough to make the play.
I say 50-50, man, because that ain't something that you can do on a regular, man. I mean, come on, man.
No, it's not. But the point is that most amazing plays are plays that you do because you have to. You do because you got to give credit where credit is due. Like, I give credit to Beck for laying that, even though he was off, he laid that one pass that he made at 2 minutes, 39 seconds in the fourth quarter. He laid that ball on Hill.
Yeah, that was a laser.
In a good enough position.
Laser, bro.
In a good enough
laser, man.
In a good enough position where he could. Is that a fluke?
No, that wasn't no
Why
fluke.
not? Why not?
That wasn't no fluke, man, because
Why not?
that's something that is in him to do that. It's in him to do that.
Why is
If
it?
he would have
Then
just
why is it not in? Then why is it not in Williams to catch that football?
no.
Oh,
What
I forgot.
that
I
juggle,
forgot to.
that juggle pass,
But
pass, bro, was like I say I give him 50%
receivers make
skills and
passes. Like,
50%.
receivers make one-handed catches.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Why is it not in them? Why is that not a fluke?
So
Armando,
I think,
hold on real
okay,
quick,
I
real quick.
define, go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. Let me get this out.
Go ahead.
My brother is a philosophy major. Okay, so
Why you gotta expose me like that, man?
hey, so I'm going to tell you real quick. Armando does analytics. You do philosophy. Y'all brains. will
Yeah, I
break
can
in.
see his. You know, I like his ability to analyze situations and compare them.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I'm just saying, like, I think that, and if he is truly a statistics major into statistics, then despite the upper echelon of those statistics, right, like the higher unlikelihood of a thing occurring, yet it occurring, doesn't diminish its significance. You see what I'm saying?
Why, yeah, that is why I was getting ready to say.
Like, and if anything, it makes it quite more significant, and you should look at the underlying circumstances that make that possible.
A fluke is actually defined as something that happens once in a blue moon kind of thing. It doesn't
Correct.
just happen all the time. So if they do this more than once, then it's not a fluke. It's
If I
just
see
that.
him do this, if I see him make like
No, that's
5
not
more
fair. That's not
catches-
fair because
no,
what
no.
you see on this field, because if you played football, what you see on this field is a tenth of what these boys do in practice, which is why Nick Saban can sit there and look like a statue while Milroe makes one of the best touchdowns of his career, but he sits there like a stat. Why? Because he's seen it before 20, 30, 40 times. That's expected. That's the norm.
Mm.
What you see on this field is not at all what these boys do in practice. They probably do more spectacular shit in practice. You've done more spectacular shit in practice than you've done on a field.
That's because you don't have you don't have a lot of eyes on you when you're
Correct.
at
So it is not
practice.
at all fair to say that because this boy caught a football one time on camera and he caught a football 500 times off camera juggling that shit, that you're not going to give him credit for a catch that he made the one time it was on camera.
I don't know you, Tony.
Let
but
me
I'm
answer your okay. So let me answer your question then. Okay, so according to your logic, then that kick six, that was skill. That wasn't luck.
Kick six. Which one?
With Auburn and Alabama. In that Iron Bowl when Auburn beat Alabama by that kick six play. So that wasn't luck. That was just skill.
No. Do they do it consistently in practice? Are there special teams known for these sort of plays?
I only seen it happen once.
Right, but if
that's what I'm saying, if I only see it happen one time,
I can tell you honestly, I don't know because I don't know that enough about Alabama special teams in that year and how they performed throughout practice. You know,
that's never happened before. So that's what I'm saying. That's why
never happened before in a game.
Hold on. I ain't in practice, so I wouldn't know. So I can only go by my eye test. And my eye test, I've watched the kid play with 4 games now, and I've never seen him make no juggle circles catch. I even seen some highlights from him in football. Yeah, he dance and do all of that dancing and stuff. As far as like making a juggling catch, well, he
did make 2 jumping, grabbing, twisting catches last night. He made 2, not 1, 2.
No, I mean, I give him that skill. Those I know what you're talking about. Now, those catches, those are skills.
Yeah, and he was juking motherfuckers out the ankles too. Let's not forget that.
I mean, he was doing that in high school too. I mean, the kid is special.
Yeah, but this ain't high school. This is college. This ain't high. This is college.
Let me shift gears real quick, y'all. I'm gonna shift gears real quick.
He's a phenom. He's a phenom.
He is.
And
I agree.
I
No,
mean,
so
bro, it's just like you got kids coming straight out of high school going into the NBA and killing it. Yeah, I mean,
Shit,
expect
I
more of
wish.
this. Expect more of this, man.
hey, let me shift gears real quick. And
Mhm.
I seen this topic a couple times on Facebook, and just want to bring it to all of you. And the face tape, and I don't know who was wearing it. I think it's Williams.
Kill everybody.
Kill everybody.
Mm.
Who
Uh,
was wearing that?
I want
Number,
it was an
number
Alabama
2
player.
offense, Mr. Twisty Spinny in the air.
Yeah. Williams was wearing it, right, T?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mm.
Let's go around the panel real quick. What do you think about that? And I know where he got it from. He got it from I don't know if he's old enough to notice, but
Did he say that's where he got it from?
I could probably say, because that's the only place where I know it came from.
But did he say it?
I don't know
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, y'all remember the movie The Program? And I know you do, T, because I made you watch it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, that dude Matt, the linebacker, used to say that.
Yes.
Kill
Yeah.
everybody.
Kill there. Hit him so
That boy,
hard.
that boy wasn't born when that movie came out. His dad was
which is a true testament to how much of a football fan he is.
Yeah.
His dad. I think his dad was in middle school when that movie came out back in '93.
Probably his daddy was in middle
Yeah,
So,
man,
going
his
around-
dad played at Auburn in the early 2000s.
school.
Yeah.
So you go back 10 years, that puts his
Yeah.
dad in middle school.
Yeah, I thought you
Yeah.
was joking. You was serious, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Ryan Williams Sr. played at Auburn.
Yeah, he
So-
did, yeah.
So to that saying that he put on his face tape, a lot of people are saying making it controversy about it.
Mhm.
Especially now where we just had a school shooting, and now when these players, especially the some of these college players, LSU was hit with had some controversy about it on the back end when they do the he hit and then he lift up his shirt, like, you know how to gangsters lift up their shirt to show that they have a gun. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel as though to make the NCAA should make a deal about these statements and with these actions that are these college kids and professional men are doing right now?
What do you
I
mean?
don't think they should be doing that. I don't think they should be doing that. That's just like with rappers. They tell people, they're saying they're making these kids do things that they normally would not do by them listening to these rappers, because they're looking at them as somebody they idolize. So if you got these football players that they idolize and they're sitting there doing these type of things, they're going to start they're going to do the same thing like they do with the rapper situation. They're going to be cutting things off.
I wasn't going.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
When they idolize,
so
when
basically,
kids idolize people, yeah, they do some crazy stuff.
so
Go ahead.
Armando, so basically, like I said, LSU player, he made a great tackle.
Mhm.
And I think it was an end zone deflection, and then he lifted up his shirt as though he had, you know what gangsters do, oh, what you got, fool? What you want? You want some of this? You want this smoke? But lifting up the shirt, showing their gun or their pow. Sorry. Then you got the ones that's doing the shooting gestures, and then you have this kid who showed up with the kill everybody. Should there be some? Should the NCAA put a stop to that? Should the NFL put a stop to that?
No, man, no. It's
Okay.
no, because I mean everybody's their own individual. They're just like, look, I was a Darth Vader fan, but I didn't go around trying to hit people upside the head with sticks and stuff. I mean, come on.
But look at it
Yeah.
as, and look at it in the last month alone.
Mhm.
We have three school shootings,
Mhm.
and now
That
and then
was-
you turn around, but then you turn around and at a game where you're on national TV and you have
You
and
got
you're
movie.
making a
Oh,
gesture.
okay. So you might well censor the movies then. I mean, Bad Boys, The Last Ride, or whatever the nickname
Bad
it was.
boys,
You know how
bad
much shooting?
boys.
You know how much shooting it was in that movie, and there was a whole lot of kids in that theater. Parents took
Right.
their kids to see that movie, man.
But in that movie, kids didn't lose their lives.
What you mean? What you mean?
In that movie, kids did not lose their. There was no
All right,
kids in that
when
movie that moved their
okay,
lives.
okay, that kid lifting his shirt up, doing the little gun gestures with his hand. He didn't he ain't shoot nobody. He just celebrate.
But it's the image.
It ain't, yeah, man, but that ain't got no look, man. Home training starts at home. If you are training, if you
Amen, brother.
parenting your kid and you
Amen,
your
brother.
kid right from freaking wrong, then they are not gonna pick up on those bad habits. The only time kid pick up on bad habits if you're not putting time into training your kid, teaching them right from wrong, and keeping their butt in church. If you're doing all of that, you ain't got to worry about them picking up no bad habits. End of story.
Well, yeah.
Remember Butch Johnson? Do you remember Dallas Cowboy wide receiver Butch Johnson?
Back in the early
Yeah, remember they had Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, and they had Butch Johnson.
yeah.
Okay, Butch Johnson. Remember his little celebration dance he used to do? He did the California Quake, and then he would drop down on his knees and he would take like both of his hands like he was a cowboy shooting. And Michael Irvin used to do it too. Michael Irvin would score a touchdown. He would take his fingers and like he had two guns in his hand.
Because he was a cowboy.
Yeah. It's just theatrics, man. But no kid will pick up. No kid will pick up if you are teaching your kids right from wrong, and you parenting them, and you teaching them the difference between what's real and what ain't real. You will have no problems in that department. The only ones that do that, the ones who parents are, they're not communicating with their kids. They're not teaching them right from wrong, and they don't have them in the church.
Hey, I'll say I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. Tony, what you think?
I agree certainly with Armando on this one, and here's why. So, yes, his eye tape did say kill everybody. We could see that now because HD cameras, HD television. There are certain things in football that we can see now that we couldn't see before in the past. There are certain things that motivate young men on the field. We understand as football fans where that image and where those words came from, what his true motivation was. As you said, it was a tribute to a film that motivated this young man. That was his motivation. He put that on his eye makeup, on his eye black. So when he looked in the mirror, he could get in the zone and do what he needed to do for the team. It was intended for him. It was intended for the team. How people interpret those images and take those images into their lives is something that man cannot control. And as Armando said, if people are being raised properly, and those people are and those young children are being tended to, it's like, hey, listen, son, this is what it means. This is, this is, to him. I think this even points at a larger problem. I mean, you talk about Monday morning quarterbacking. Why we got to bring politics into everything? This is football, bro.
I can't stand that.
You know what I'm saying? Truly. I mean, why we got to bring politics and social living that should be governed by quite frankly, like Armando, by parents at home into everything.
Everything.
Leave that man alone. That was for him. That was so he could get pumped and motivated. So his team members could read his face and get pumped and motivated. It don't mean what you know, and I don't even want to say it and talk about it with those provocative acts, those evil demonic acts, that occur in our culture, unfortunately. I hear what you're saying, Tony, to an extent. Like, what you're saying is, to what degree or to what extent do we hold our role models accountable for the things that they portray and the activities that they portray? But I think Armando did another great job of laying out examples about how in our past those things were also exhibited, yet benign. They were harmless, or not necessarily harmless, but they weren't intended to be harmful, right? And I think you can. Quite frankly, and not to bring it back to politics, but it falls into another freedom of speech sort of category. You mean to tell me that I can't get motivated? I can't put what I mean, it's not like the man was putting anything, he was not inciting any violence to any other individuals or parties or groups with his eye black. He was simply motivating himself and his team. And that's where I think it should be, it should lie, it should be left alone. Yeah, I really I think that's it, bro. I think that's it. I think you leave the man alone. Y'all could read it. That's fine. There's nothing. And I hear, I'm sorry, man, what was your name again?
You knew.
Armando.
No. The female.
Oh, you're a ma'am now?
No, you're a man.
Oh, I thought you said man.
No, ma'am.
You knew.
You knew. So to a certain extent, she, like, I hear what you're saying about rappers. Even rappers, you can't do that to them. You can't limit their freedom. I think Ice Cube laid that out plain and simple for us. We say what we want based on our experience. Y'all do what you want based on yours. It's a completely different thing, and to lay the blame, if individuals are attempting to do such a thing to this individual, to this football player, you can't attribute to this football player the actions of a random individual based on what he had on his eye black to get him in the zone for he and his team. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, so the part where you were saying, as far as like certain songs, right? Rappers, you have countries who are keeping people or blocking people from their country being able to play certain songs. That's what they are doing. That's how they limit it. They limit us on YouTube. Like right now, I'm just going to use this as an example. On YouTube, we get this thing called limited. Instead of just none, no restrictions, it says limited. And the reason why it says limited is because certain countries don't play that music. So we're not allowed to have, we have limited people able to hear our music because of that limit.
Sure.
So that is the same thing. The freedom of speech, the freedom of having our music that we want to listen to.
Right.
But does that as well.
Correct. I'm sorry.
But however, other countries don't have the same rights as we do.
Correct. Exactly.
That's true.
That's what I was. And I'm only speaking in the right. I mean, we're speaking in the context of, and I would assume, since we're all Americans and we're speaking as Americans from America, right? We're speaking ethnocentrically.
You got a green card, bro.
Fuck out of here, bro. This motherfucker every time, because I'm Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans, y'all motherfuckers ain't got no rights.
That's okay.
Puerto Rican, Peruvian, same shit, right?
So
y'all about to become a state now. Y'all about to be a part of the union.
You better hope not.
hey, hey, listen. Hey, because if you do, I'm telling you right now, hey, I'm sorry, the Mexican folks, but hey, Puerto Rican food is gonna take over.
No, but so
You funny.
and I hear what you're saying about so you just said you're Arabic?
I'm Arabic, yeah.
Arabic. So are you
Here,
accustomed
from
to
here.
or you're from
No,
here, right?
no. I'm
Or-
not.
or-
I don't
or-
have anything to do with their customs at all.
Right.
At
So
all.
and so that was my next question is when we really need to clarify in this area, right? This area of conversation, what
Mhm.
you mean, right, by the ability to speak or to express, because there are certain things that are allowed in American culture and law that are
Mhm.
not allowed to be expressed in
In
Arabic
countries.
or
Right.
or the law of Islam, and
Mhm.
those things, and that matters, and I'm sensitive to that. Like
Mhm.
I go to if I were to go, and I've been to Iraq, if I were to go to a Middle Eastern country,
Mhm.
I'm not going there talking about my free speech.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're not about to hear it.
Right.
So what are we really talking about?
Yeah.
And Tony, what I think you're saying, and I hear the line that you're drawing, which is to what extent are public, I think, or the bigger question is, to what extent are public figures in sports allowed to express themselves and at the same time be I don't want to say persecuted, but at the same time be analyzed. Let's say analyzed by people in other cultures, or even in our own culture.
This
Right.
is our own culture, yeah.
Right. But man, people are gonna, bro, it don't matter. He could have put God is king.
Mm.
He could have put God is king on his eye black, and that's what gets him going. And people would have been like, word dog, that's what you're gonna do?
Yep, like they did
You-
Tim Tebow.
Like
Like they
did
did
Right.
Tim
Tebow.
Tebow. Remember,
Thank
Tim
you,
Tebow
sir.
was
Thank you.
doing the
That's
praying
exact-
thing, and they had something to say about
Armando,
that.
I like Armando. You see where I'm going with this?
Mhm.
See what I'm saying though?
Yep.
It don't matter. These boys gonna do what they do. They're gonna find a fence in it, and that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta draw a line somewhere and be like, yo, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. This is for me and my team. Because look, yo, as far as here's the thing about sports. These boys, as far as they're concerned, they're in a war. That's
Mhm.
a battle. That's what
Mhm.
sports are to men. It's an outlet. It's an outlet for inexcusable, aggressive male behavior.
Mhm.
And my wife thought the other day, I saw Georgia and Alabama on the football field. She was like, these boys are fighting. And I'm like, better out there than in my backyard. I was kind of like joking, but not really. Because,
Yeah.
because we got a bunch of, like, dude, bro, we got team 60 something, 100, both of them combined, what, like 132 dudes? Grown,
Mhm.
Healthy young men beating, like just taking it out on each other, being physical in a disciplined manner. Better on that field than in my yard or on the streets, bro. That's what sports do for young men. They help them. They align them. They take those natural aggressions that we have as young men and they gear them in a positive direction, right? In a team mentality. Like, bro, that's a good thing. That is a healthy thing. And for y'all motherfuckers, man, for y'all to sit out there and Monday morning quarterback that and be like, oh, well, you see, this is why they do school shootings, because stupid people like this put things like that on their eye black. No, man, why don't you stop baiting young men and the whole world into thinking that anything that young men do that's positive into something negative, bro.
Preach.
Stop being a bitch. Straight up.
Preach.
Let these men,
I can hang out with him.
men.
I can hang out with you, bro.
Chill.
Hey, listen. This is the reason why we've been before I shut this down.
I ain't even got rolling yet, bro.
Hey, listen, and he really hasn't got rolling yet.
I ain't even got
Hey,
rolling.
listen, me and him will go. Armando, I think the reason why me and you get along so well is the same reason why we've been friends for 40 plus years or 36 plus years. It's because, and we just had this discussion the other day.
I done jumped I jumped fences with these boys from people trying to beat us.
Yeah, we done got a penalty of fights, but the main thing, we just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is that me and him can get into a heated debate.
Oh,
it's not an argument.
Opposites attract.
Bro.
But
I want to beat
again,
the snot out this kid,
man. And he beat me one time, and we're not gonna go. We might have another segment of our fights.
And I'm bigger than him, and he still beat me.
You are not that much bigger than me, fool.
What you 5'9"?
And what are you, 5'10"?
I'm 6 foot, bro.
Man, you better take.
You just don't know that because we've been rolling on the ground the whole time. Because he always gets me to the ground because he's strong as a bitch. But yeah,
wait
anyway.
a minute. Wait, you didn't put those two things, strong as a bitch. What does that fucking mean?
I mean, you strong, like you're strong, like you're strong. All right. Physically strong.
I drive to Virginia Beach right now.
No, you're strong. You're strong.
But we could get in arguments. we get in debates, and just like me and you, Armando, we get in debates, and we do not get caught up in feelings about it.
Right.
And by the end of the day, and this is the only dude, and I don't give a damn if anybody hears this and be like, he's gay. This is the only dude. Besides, we got another friend that we can again. We got in a discussion a couple of weeks ago about after the debate, we started talking about the and I don't want to get into it too well, but just a time frame of what happened about the abortion thing, and we agreed to disagree on a very small, minute choice of words, I should say, but it's very
it was a private conversation.
Yeah, and we disagreed, but at the end of the time, we heard each other. We learned from each other, and at the end of the day, love you, bro. Love you too.
Yeah, dude. 100%. Like, I will fight this boy to the death on things I disagree with. But anybody touches him, we're
going to war.
Yeah, we're not going to the mat. We going to the dirt. It's more than that. But and honestly, that's what, like when you were introducing Fauna, I was actually kind of taking offense. I was like, he was like, yeah, that's like my. I was like, no, that's not like my bro. Like, you don't even understand. There are certain people you meet in life, and there's a spiritual, not even spirit. It is I would say spiritual, but an unexplainable connection to people and individuals. And he's my blood. He's my brother. Like the Bible says, family it's not always from blood. Like, family is made, right? I mean, like, think of Moses and Pharaoh were family, and they were not blood, right? They were made. Moses was a Pharaoh. Moses was a Hebrew. Pharaoh was Egyptian. But even though it was his uncle, they were blood as far as they were concerned. Family is made. Family is made. There are plenty of examples of this in the Bible, and just there's an unexplainable connection, and I think that sometimes it's even more important that family, that like people that you meet and that you love, are not family, because it makes conversations not necessarily easier, but better. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna stop talking right now, but I don't know what it is. It's really unexplainable, bro. But like I keep coming back to you. I love you, and I'm always here for you. And I don't know, since I think we were like 12 when I met you, something like that.
You was
And
out with getting your cast on your arm, and I happened just to show up and date the ugly chick.
yeah, and he's been there for me in crazy times, and I've been there for him, and we've fought and disagreed and stopped talking and started talking, and there's just, it's unexplainable. And our parents know each other, and I don't know. And
So remember when
Anyway.
you knew when I told you, I said, hey, my niece got stuck at the airport.
Yes. That's your
And,
niece.
and Tony called. He said, what are you doing right now? And my first response was, what do you need?
yeah,
Mm.
100%. And I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And by the way, so we had a falling out, we had an issue, and by the way, that girl is the Alabama girl. He should have left her at the airport, right?
Oh my God.
Fuck your kids. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck them
Hey,
kids. No.
but hey, that's how we are, bro. Hey, but hey,
But yeah, I did. I needed something, and he was there 100%. And yeah, that's how we've always been.
always.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But you know
And
what?
it-
I always say you can't pick your family because your family's your family, but you can pick your friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that could be what
hey,
you were
look.
trying to say. You picked them as a friend and you got a good friend. So that's definitely, you know.
Hey, our moms didn't allow us to, if we had to go someplace like, you know, to the skating ring or to, we wasn't allowed to talk in the car because we would
Mhm.
sit there and verbally say what each other is saying at the same time.
Hmm.
My mom told us to shut the hell up plenty of times.
Yeah. We was always
Hey.
talking, saying the same shit.
But hey, I want to. Hey, listen, we've been up here damn near 4 hours,
Mhm.
and it's been amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, y'all. We'll talk on the back end. I want to thank Armando for coming up here, and we, helping with our first subject, then move to our second subject, to the third subject. I want to thank especially you knew. Only reason why you knew came up here because I was talking trash, and she has access to my page, so she can come up whatever she wants. She's still the manager. She still runs stuff. And special to you, brother. I love you. I think Final went to sleep. What was she drinking? Because she was on one, bro.
She so she started the
Mhm.
conversation like she was like, yo, get me this drink. We about to talk about Alabama. Like, let's go. And so here's the thing about Fauna is she's definitely not impartial when it comes to football. When it comes to fucking Alabama, I'm like, girl, like, talk about what you know. She's like, nah, fuck that. I'm talking about Alabama. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
She's
she know-
passionate about Alabama. She's passionate.
yeah. Like, and she was kind of upfront about it. She lives vicariously through our daughter, who lives in where she's in Tuscaloosa. She's like literally lives across the street from Bryant Denny, and she's there. So
Mm.
she's it's a constant conversation. So for her, it's a very emotional thing, and that's, I was like, when it comes to football, you can't be I say emotional. Football is, for men, it's emotional, but men, it's a different thing. Like, yeah, we're emotional about football, you know what I mean? But you can't be too emotional about football. But women, she's all emotion. Women are typically all emotion, not all emotion, but she's emotional about football, and that's what she was doing here. And I was like, yo, it's like, at least like stop being so emotional. And she was like, stop telling me what to do. And I was like, damn. Which, you know, I mean, you can't tell you what to do all the time. So
hey, you know,
get it,
damn
girl.
well. Hey, look, hey, you know damn well. when
I
she
was
get
having
ready-
fun listening to her, man. I was listening to you. I was in the bedroom. I was like, yeah, let me get. Honestly, I was having more fun being in the bedroom, listening to my wife just go off on y'all because she ain't going off on me about football. I was like, yo, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Yo. I was dying. And she was like, stop doing that. You're laughing at me. And I was like, I'm not laughing at you. I'm chilling.
Hey, listen, I was laughing at her all the whole damn time. She said every time she said a cuss word, boy, she whipped her head around to see if you was still there.
Here's the only reason, the only thing, because my wife, honestly, man, she's extremely smart. She's very articulate, but she diminishes her articulate, like her articulateness, or you know, she diminishes that with swear words. And I'm like, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. You're articulate. Like I'm telling you, you can say the thing. She's like, nah, fuck that. It's easier to say it like this. Fuck that. And I'm just like, bro.
Hey, but you know what? Hey,
stop
it
being
was a
so
good time
hood.
hey, look, it was time for her to let loose and be hood for a little bit. Let her be for a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyways, y'all, hey, I appreciate all three of y'all coming up here and just doing this conversations with us. It's conversations again that when we first started, conversations that need to be had. I appreciate everybody who's in the chat who's still sticking around. It look like three of y'all still sticking around. Like, when is this shit gonna end? But anyways, any last words, Armando?
Everybody take care of yourselves and each other. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you, brother. It was a pleasure meeting you, man.
Hey, man,
chopping it up
same.
with you, man. Hey,
Yes, sir.
we
got to
need
do it
this.
again.
We need to do this more often. For real.
150.
Yes, sir. Tony, you got any last words, brother?
No, sir.
All right. Hey, y'all, listen. Money does not build a relationship. It enhances a relationship, but it should not build a relationship. It doesn't matter if who has more money than who. It's about you taking care of each other, emotionally, physically, and at the end of the day, you cannot take money with you when you die.
No, you cannot.
Money is the byproduct of your relationship to give to your motherfucking kids.
Mine ain't getting nothing.
I'm done.
All right. And come on, big sis. Take us home.
All right. It was a pleasure meeting everybody up here. And I'm glad. Thank you for coming through, everybody in the chat. But you got to go home. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. See ya. Bye.